best part about a long road trip is that it comes to an end. No matter the wins or losses, and there weren't any victories, it is so good to be back home. Back home at Chase Field, where it's just another day in paradise. Peeking over the youngsters and their parents enjoying the pool. Of course, glad to have you with us on Fox Saturday, and we present the Colorado Rockies against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hello there, folks. This is actually Fox Sports Arizona. This is not Fox Saturday, not yet anyway. No. My name is Darren Sutton. He is Mark Grace. Welcome back to the ballpark. Gracie, a 10-game losing streak, and of course, every single game on this road trip was a loss for the Diamondbacks. It's been well documented. The off day was good for that. But the one thing we do know is that cycling through the rotation truly, starting pitching was a positive. Another way to look at it, it was wasted as well. Yeah, one thing you cannot blame is the starting pitching. I thought they were tremendous, especially these guys that you see on your screen right now. Good to see Dan Herron with that bounce-back game. And then Edwin Jackson, he continues his role. Rodrigo Lopez, Ian Kennedy, they did a great job of keeping the Diamondbacks in the game. The Diamondback offense just let those guys down. And the very interesting thing about it, obviously, the offense let them down, the bullpen let them down. We're going to walk through these walk-offs, 4 consecutive walk-off losses for the Diamondbacks. It became inventive in the ways that Arizona found ways to lose. Heartbreaking, no doubt about it. And I think it starts just wear and tear at all 25 guys mentally more than anything. Well, you get sick and tired, Darren, of watching the other team jump up and down at home plate and leap for joy and all that. It gets old after a while. And you have to walk off. It's the most gut-wrenching way to lose a baseball game. Losing games is bad enough, but losing them and watching the other team laugh and giggle and enjoy themselves at your expense, it's unacceptable. Well, we're having a tough go of it, certainly for these Diamondbacks. The losing streak, you can see there's nothing really positive about it. Ian Kennedy is a guy that maybe can turn it around. Yeah, Ian Kennedy has been terrific for the Diamondbacks. He really didn't know what you were going to get with Ian Kennedy in spring training, coming off the injury in last year, but boy, he has been really special. A lot better than people anticipated, I would imagine. So here's the ball, Ian. Go ahead and end this thing, please. Fox Saturday Baseball, right? Well, it's Friday, Derek. I know, but we got the big-time logo and everything. And you're a network announcer. You're pretty big league. I'm big league. Yeah, just asking. Folks, glad to have you with us. When we come back, we'll talk about Ken Griffey Jr. saying goodbye to Major League Baseball. The kid so good for the game. The kid clean and good for the game. All that discussed tonight. Also, Derrick Hall will join us in the booth. That ought to be interesting. Casinos, proud partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks. By Schumacher European, your Mercedes-Benz Supercenter located at Scottsdale Road and Loop 101, or drivethebest.com, and by Southwest Airlines. Visit southwest.com, grab your bag, it is on.
Back and live in Chase Field in downtown Phoenix, just about set for the first pitch as the Diamondbacks try to get out of a funk. Now, a lot has happened in Major League Baseball since the D-backs walked off the field in Los Angeles on Wednesday, starting with a near-perfect game and also one of the game's all-time greats, calling it a career. Talking about Ken Griffey Jr., who after 22 seasons retired from the Seattle Mariners. You see the numbers right there on the screen. He was the fastest to 500 home runs, but just hit 200 in his final 10 years. He hit his 300th right here at Chase Field and also carved out quite a relationship with Justin Upton. We take a look at that 300th home run, and it was an absolute monster shot into Uptown. And speaking of Justin Upton, here's what Ken Griffey Jr. imparted to him, something that applies tonight as the D-backs try to get rid of a losing streak.
He just said, basically have fun. I mean, he said you get caught up in all the politics and everything that comes along being in the big leagues, but, simplify it to be in a game and still have fun playing it.
Rings true tonight. For the first time since 1974, no Griffey is playing in the big leagues. The Diamondbacks and the Rockies are playing tonight at Chase Field. Ian Kennedy gets the ball. Mark Grace and Darren Sutton have the call. And it's next on Fox Sports Arizona.
Shear battled injuries, battled adversity. He is getting Houston Street back very soon, starting a game in the minor leagues tonight. So look out for these Rocks. They may roll even more. Let's take a look at Trace's starting lineup. We'll hear from him this evening as well. It's brought to you by KFC. It's Gonzalez has hammered his old club this year and in his career. Seth Smith, Todd Helton, Tulo, Brad Hott, Miguel Olivo, all better with that hand. Had an ugly little accident the other night. It's Ian Stewart, Clint Barmas, and Aaron Cook. 25-year-old right-hander Ian Patrick Kennedy out of Huntington Beach, California, and USC. The numbers delivered by the UPS store. Last time out, 6 innings, 2 runs in San Francisco, no decision, an eventual loss. 6-5 the score, but a fabulous surprise this season. That's the best way to put it. Not really any negative numbers to talk about, as that's a strike over the outside.
I think the key to him this year so far, Darren, is just what we saw, and that's strike one, getting ahead of hitters. Had the reputation as being kind of a nitpicker, but he's really been much more aggressive as a Diamondback.
He'll give up the long ball, but most of the time they are solo shots, and that fastball spreads the zone. 0-2 the count. Doesn't walk many, 23 walks in 69 and a third. The strikeout to walk is about 2.5 to 1. Love how he peers over that glove, hiding under the cap. High fly ball, deep right field. Go swimming baseball. Way out of here. Into the pool it goes. Carlos Gonzalez with his 8th home run of the year. His 5th home run against the Arizona Diamondbacks. He is now 12 for 20 against Arizona this season with 5 home runs. 1-0 Colorado.
Fastball, wanted it away. It went in the middle of the plate. It was down around the knees. Boy, Carlos Gonzalez just crushes it. Way out of here. Welcome home.
You thought it would start better than that, but no one is going to hand you anything. And I think Joe Borowski in the postgame show, you and I flying home 2 days ago, talked about the subject that right now teams will be looking to keep you down. They will be looking to stop any sort of confidence you may get from coming back home. Changeup is high. 1-1 the count to Seth Smith, the man out of Ole Miss. Has 5 hits this year against the Diamondbacks, but 3 of them have been homers. Change and a dandy. 1-2 the count. Best pitch? His changeup?
He says that's his best pitch. He says he
What do
can't.
you think?
I think he's correct. I think that changeup makes his fastball that much better. He's not an overpowering guy, but he can rack up the strikeouts.
He's believed in that a lot more. A curveball as it bounces low. 4th career leadoff home run for Carlos Gonzalez. 4 times he's hit a leadoff homer. All of them have come against Arizona in his career.
Wow.
Smith pops that one up. So we'll do it again with a 2-2 count. We love our home crew, and it's good to be back home with all the folks that work so hard to bring you the sights and the sounds, the graphics and the pictures into your living room. But it's tough when you see the home crew after a 3-city trip and you say to them, you saw the last Diamondbacks victory, guys and gals. So maybe you'll see another one. A changeup pulled the string, and Smith was way out front as he goes down on strikes for the 18th time this year.
First baseman number 17.
You called the change up. It's right on the inside corner. And as you said, way out in front.
Defense brought to you by Jaguar. Parra gets the start in left. Upton anchors it in right. Young in the middle. Reynolds, Drew, Johnson, LaRoche on the infield. And Chris Snyder behind home plate. And now Todd Helton. That one is low. 1-0 the count. One of the highlights of the road trip outside of the work we were able to do during the games was a conversation that we were able to have with this man in Todd Helton. 1-1 the count. Boy, he's respectful of the game. He's respectful of someone like you who came before him. Hence the number 17, certainly. But he is very aware of the adjustments he's having to make as an older player, isn't he? Did you gain that kind of perspective from him?
Well, I think as Father Time creeps up on you, the old gray mare ain't what you used to be. You know, you just your bat's not as quick as it used to be. And as you get older, you get a lot more pitches like that. Just unhittable pitches. That's a great pitch there for me and Kennedy. But I think what happens is you start trying to cheat a little bit when you lose bat speed, so you have to start it a little bit earlier. Beautiful pitch there from Kennedy. But when was the last time you thought you'd see in early June, you'd see Todd Helton with 10 RBIs?
Correct.
And he's been healthy.
He has been healthy. He has been scuffling through it. He still has that spot in the order, that number 3 spot. You wonder if it might change. None of us wanted to, and certainly I know he is a joy to be in the Western Division and cover him a lot more. We'll hear from him later on in the telecast as well. 1-0 the count to a man who is having a great year. He was slow out of the gates. He's always been a slow April guy, but his April is only about half that time as there's a strike. He had 1 home run in his first 38 games. The team was 18-20. He's homered 6 times in his last 13 games. Well, they're 9-4. When the cleanup hitter hits, you win.
That's exactly right. We're in the middle of your order.
Got him out front. That was that change of pace. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Troy Tulowitzki.
Just the old-fashioned straight changeup, Darren.
He is such a leverage hitter, isn't he? He stands so tall at the plate.
I like a guy that does that. You know, these big guys like Tulowitzki, and just anymore, it seems like all these guys are big. Yeah, stand up straight, use your leverage, and let her rip.
That pitch is away. That's why that pitch a couple ago, that changeup, so effective. Not only did he not square it up, as you can see the differences, but he was down almost to a knee. The knees were bent. That's not him.
No, not at all. And that's how fooled he was. That's why the Ian Kennedy changeup is so effective.
Pitch away again, a changeup. 3-2 the count. I was thinking back to that strikeout of Helton, folks. That was a slider he threw, Todd, over the inside corner.
He doesn't throw many of those, does he?
Maybe about 5 out of every 100 pitches. On 3-2. Changeup. Oh, boy, what a pitch. He struck out the side, but Carlos Gonzalez, 4th career leadoff home run. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. All of them against the Diamondbacks. As they get ready to put the ball in play against a guy who doesn't strike out much of anybody, Southwest Airlines. Kelly Johnson, Justin Upton, then it's Stephen Drew. Adam LaRoche, Mark Reynolds, Chris Young. It's Parra Snyder with fabulous career numbers against Cook. And then Ian Kennedy. You can see the numbers. A tough year for the right-hander who, again, doesn't strike you out. And too many walks this year, no doubt about it. But he's down in the zone and he wants ground ball.
A lot of sinkers. About 4 out of 5 pitches are going to be just that right there. A sinker, an occasional slider, but he wants you to hit the ball on the ground, and he wants you to hit it early in the count.
And he hasn't fared well at all here in this ballpark. As that one is up and away. Boy, you look at Cook, Lieber, and Maddox on that graphic. All predominant ground ball pitchers. Guys that throw ground balls. Derrick Lowe never pitched well here. Into right field, they have to play it on a hop, so Kelly Johnson with a base hit. Good way to get things going offensively. Johnson, .295 career hitter against the Rockies.
Fastball stays in the middle of the plate. Nice quick swing there by Kelly Johnson. That's a good way to start your homestand.
Kelly had 10 hits on the road trip in 9 games. 4 walks as well, so he was able to do his part. But really nobody has done anything offensively over the stretch of time. This club is trying to snap a drought. As Upton, maybe he did it, maybe it's over. It's a moot point now. Justin Upton with a long home run. The Diamondbacks had gone 31 innings without scoring a run. They had gone 111 plate appearances without an extra base hit. In other words, they were freezing cold. They warm up a bit. Justin Upton is 9th home run of the year.
Well, that got out of here quickly. Get that dugout something to smile about. This is the first lead we've had in a while. First pitch he sees, just spins up there, and my goodness, way out of here.
So now Stephen Drew. Fulton Holmes home run. A reminder, $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. Topper, right side, and Drew puts that one on the ground. Foul ball, 1-1 the count. The last 3 extra base hits for this club have all been homers. 31 inning scoreless streak. It was the second inning Monday in Los Angeles. Folks, it's Friday night. Much as I tried to make it Saturday here a few minutes ago, it's Friday night. They haven't scored since Monday, Gracie. Wow, that's kind of a...
Exactly. I'm sure there was a lot of big exhales down there in that third base dugout, especially from that fella, the manager, A.J. Hinch.
The 1-2 pitch to Stephen Drew. Shot, foul ball. Jerry Meals is on it. I was recollecting that old Chicago Cubs team a couple of years back. That one in 1992, as you see this one, nearly extra bases.
Stephen Drew does not agree with first base umpire Jerry Meals' call. He thought he might have got the bag there, the corner of the bag. Meals all over it. Had a great look at it.
1-2 the count. Back to the screen it goes. But there was a Cubs team in 92, Gracie, that went 36 innings without scoring a run.
I don't think I played in any of those games.
You were injured.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was sick. I had the flu. I was sick to death.
Popped up.
Oh, boy. Bad memories. I was so sick.
Stephen Drew is erased. Let's take a look at the Rockies defensively. Seth Smith, Carlos Gonzalez, Brad Hoff, Ian Stewart, Troy Tulowitzki, Clint Barmas, and Todd Helton on the infield, and Miguel Olivo behind the plate. Tulo moves over to the second base side of the bag. They employ the alien defense, Rich Dower does. Called it that in Milwaukee when he was a coach there, now here in Denver. And then the Diamondbacks saw that for the first time for LaRoche in Colorado, and it's funny how much folks watch games to advance scout on TV. Or their advanced scouts make a phone call if they're there in person. There it is. Instead of a ground ball into center field, he's out 6-3. But when the Diamondbacks then went to San Francisco, after going to San Francisco, the same shift was on.
So word gets around.
Word gets around very nicely.
Yeah, those advanced scouts.
And here's Mark Reynolds.
Good to see Mark back in the lineup. Missed some time in Los Angeles with he aggravated that quad injury that he had. Well, it's kind of been bothering him since spring training.
Yeah, all the way through spring training.
Well, that'll hurt a little bit too.
So Reynolds drilled there with a pitch up and in. He's a base runner. Spent the day here yesterday, his off day, at the ballpark in the training room, getting treatment, trying to make sure he could get ready to start today. Worked so hard, and then this happens.
Got him right in the boiler. He doesn't have a boiler. Guys like us do, Darren. That doesn't hurt him near as much as it hurts someone like us.
I've got plenty of padding right there in the belly. 5 of 19 was Reynolds, 263 with a homer.
I always tell people I used to have a six-pack. Now I got a keg.
So Young with an opportunity. 267, 8 home runs, 39 batted in, 23 runs scored. Slugging a tick below 500 at 446. Gracie, during that tough streak for the Cubs in '92, you had a double-ended triple, my friend.
No. I remember I was sick. I missed those games.
You doubled and tripled. That's a couple of extra base hits.
And what was it, 4 games?
It was 3 in Atlanta and 1 in Cincinnati.
And I got 2 hits in 4 games?
Well, you doubled and tripled.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what was I, 2 for what?
That one has popped up. Well, it was 2 for not 7, not 8, not 9, not 10, not 11, not 12, but 2 for 13.
Well, it seems it was a very hard 2 for 13.
I think you were sick. I'd stick with that. Scored a streak is over here.
Food poisoning.
And as Ken Griffey Jr. announced his retirement from Major League Baseball. And the kid is certainly part of our Geico quote. Buck O'Neil, Negro League pioneer. Well, I sure like that Ken Griffey Jr. He's having so much fun. That's a tail end of a wonderful conversation that Buck O'Neil had with Joe Posnanski, a legendary and a great writer in the Midwest. And he talked about all the great players that he had seen from years gone by through the wars and players in the Negro Leagues, and he settled on Ken Griffey Jr. And Buck, and you, I'm sure, had the pleasure and the honor of meeting Buck, chose Ken Griffey Jr. because the game of baseball for him was so much fun.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Buck O'Neil, one of the bigger gentlemen that I've ever met in my life. Got to fly for about 3 hours with him. He sat right beside me on an airplane for about 3 hours to Philadelphia one time, and I'll tell you what, I wish I was flying to Australia. I couldn't get enough of information from him. I couldn't. Just what a gentleman and what a legend in the game of baseball.
So to receive a compliment like that from Buck O'Neil means a lot.
Well, Ken Griffey Jr. should be very proud to get something like that.
Pitch is low. Tip of the cap to the kid for a wonderful career, and he went about it in a way in the end in which he was injured. And of course, was last year when he hit a really memorable home run against the Diamondbacks. He was introduced, the crowd cheered the entire time as he walked up to the plate as a pinch hitter, and he homered immediately. It was a goosebump moment, certainly, as Brad Hawk draws the walk.
Catcher number 21, Miguel Olivo.
This was last year, and literally, it was goosebumps before he even hit. Huge ovation as a pinch hitter. Tony Pena gave it up. You can see the bedlam behind him.
Golly.
We were able to take that moment into your living room. As Miguel Olivo steps in and takes a look at a slider. 0-1 the count.
Got to travel to Japan with Ken Griffey Jr. back in 1992. That fateful year when I was red hot there in Atlanta and Cincinnati. Got to take a baseball tour trip. Man, what a talent he was back then when he was still a baby. He was maybe 20, 21 years old, something like that. Had already got about 3-4 years in the big leagues when he was in his early 20s. My gosh, was he good.
He was the guy, and there certainly have been many since, but not that many, where he could stand alone, where you'd say, well, such and such a team is coming to town, and especially as a young player, you know, the one with Ken Griffey on it, and you'd make your decision to attend that game because of it.
That's true.
Especially, as you said, at that time when you went on that trip with him. Late 80s, early 90s. That slide in the Kingdome against the Yankees, safe at the plate on Edgar Martinez's extra base hit. 2-2 the count. And never one time has he come into the discussion for steroids, performance-enhancing drugs. He's not part of the discussion.
And that is something to be very thankful for, and for Ken Griffey Jr., something to be very proud of.
The 2-2. Threw him a change up. Look at that heads up base running. Immediately taken off. Snyder has that kick out front, so that's a wild pitch. So a runner in scoring position.
Ian having a little wildness here in the top of the seventh. Leadoff walk to Hop. And Snyder can't come up with that change up. It's in the dirt.
Olivo, 8 home runs again. He is hitting another season. He started to hit last year a lot in Kansas City. 3-2. Got him away.
That's a nice pitch there. Another slider there, Darren. That's 2 times now he's gotten the strikeout via the slider. This one's just beautiful, right on the outside corner. Olivo missed that one badly.
And again, with regard to those sliders, he doesn't throw many. Throws a fastball about 6 out of every 10. Curveball about 2 out of every 10. Same with the change. You don't see many sliders. About 5% of all pitches thrown this year. That's a change up, and it's rolled foul. But when you go down into that bullpen and you have your 15-20 minute session where you stretch, you play catch, and you throw off the mound, there are times when you come out of there not confident in a second or third pitch, like let's say a curveball. Throw a few good sliders. I may have to lean on this a little bit more.
Throw them. When you're a 4-pitch guy, Darren, it's very rare that you're going to have all 4 on a certain night. You're going to be lucky if you've got 3. The Battle of La Quinta High School. Here it is, folks.
That's exactly right. These two Ians were teammates together in Southern California.
They called them the Dancing Ians.
Well, they were the Aztecs, as the count is 0-2. But maybe that was kind of a secondary nickname that I think he made up. 2-1 the score. There's a change of pace. Ian will not be beaten by Ian this time.
That's 5 strikeouts now through the first 7 batters for Ian Kennedy. A couple of fastballs to get to that beautiful changeup. Nowhere near it was Stewart. So that battle of old high school buddies goes to the man on the mound, Ian Kennedy.
So after the walk, then the wild pitch, he gets Olivo on a slider, Stewart on a changeup, and here's Clint Barmas. Barmas 1 of 12 against Arizona this year. And he takes a breaking ball for a strike.
They're going to go after Barmas here with a base open. Barmas has had his struggles this year, but he's still driven in 26.
Mm-hmm.
You got the pitcher Cook on deck, who's a pretty good hitter himself.
Yeah, 5 hits this year, has always been a good hitter.
0-2.
So breaking ball for strike one, and then literally right down the middle with a fastball. So he has crawled right inside of the head of Barmas. He's got his options. Certainly has shown a good enough slider. Hasn't shown him a changeup either. 0-2 the count. Snyder, a nice job.
That was excellent. That's a tough one to get to right there. Snyder did a really good job of not only blocking it, but keeping it close to him, bouncing in, keeping the runner at second base. Nicely done there by the big fella.
Looked like he just spiked a curveball that time. Strikeouts are up this year for Ian. Walks are down compared to what he has done in his early career. Up in the zone with a changeup. Just rode in on the hands. Parra comes in. Drew goes back. It's Gerardo Parra that puts it away. So a walk is stranded. Kennedy has allowed just the leadoff home run to Carlos Gonzalez. Arizona leads it 2-1. Griffey Jr. And we could ask him, and we can ask you, what will you remember most of the playing career of Junior? 36929. Talent, love of the game, the father son, of course. They homered in back-to-back games back in the 80s. Or what could have been with all of the injuries? What will you remember the most? I had my own personal favorite, E. Batting practice and running around the field with his hat on backwards. That's what I had. E, hat on backwards.
Gerardo Parra steps in. He's batting .234 on the season. He'll take one down to even the count 1-1.
Oh, see, that's in honor of the kid tonight. That's a fan who really follows the game. That one is.
Hat on backwards is yours, huh? The E.
Would you vote E? You'd vote E, right?
No, that's the worst thing you can do with a hat, is wear it like that. Supposed to wear it? No, that's not correct either, folks. This gentleman, we missed it.
That one is in. You want it spun around the other way?
Yeah, the proper way. Let's get a shot of this gentleman right here. That's the way it's supposed to be worn. This, that's a big league hat.
That
right
is
there.
big league. That's like our good friend Tracy Ringlesby, who's in town covering the Colorado Rockies. He always wears his cowboy hat. 2-2 the count.
Well, he's a great rider, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. So, I tend to agree with you. There's Trace. Because the more I think about it, you know, having a daughter who's about to be a teenager, all you young suitors, as that one is popped up, shortstop side. Honestly, Gracie, you come knocking at my door in a few years and your hat's on backwards, you better just turn around and walk away.
Yeah.
So I actually changed my E.
Attaboy, good.
Because,
well, for me, it's going to be talent.
Talent. I would agree with that.
Just an amazingly talented baseball player. Could beat you on the offensive side, the defensive side. He could beat you with speed. He was the complete package.
And what a smile. I mean, we can tease about the hat on backwards, but what that smile when he was out there, infectious.
Starting to get a little uncomfortable, but that's all right.
The 0-1 with all the hat on backwards shots.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that because I think I've made my decision. The dad in me. Now that's okay. Wouldn't be able to see it. Might fall in his face. The 1-1. Snyder hits a high fly ball. What a career he has had against Cook, over 500. But the ballpark holds it. Nudo on the score. That's the old man smile. That was last year. Here's Ian Kennedy. IPK, Gracie likes to call him, as that's a strike. Kennedy, 3 for 22 this year. Well, that ball's heavy. Such a good sinker. Well, we talked about it. Maddox, Derrick Lowe, Aaron Cook. They have not fared well in this ballpark. Ground ball pitchers.
That was a pretty good sinker.
1-2 the count.
Right underneath the bat of IPK. Sounds like a weapon.
The 1-2. He goes down. That weapon, the bat, didn't fare very well. Cook sits him down 1-2-3. Assist. Heat and cool your home more efficiently by getting your AC duct leaks repaired and save up to $200 per year. All right, our AT&T trivia question. We've had some good ones on the road.
Have we?
Well, not really. Who led the 90s in doubles and the new millennium decade of the 2000s in doubles as well? The 90s and the 2000s. Good question. And that's a pitch away. I mean, what a cool thing that you led a decade in hits. You led a decade in hits overall. That's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
Is that somewhere on your resume?
It's a pretty good feather.
When you stop by Kinko's, do you have them move that somewhere on the resume near the top?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of my finer accomplishments.
So that's where I'm going with this, folks. If you had the most hits in the decade of the 90s, and you hit your fair share of homers, but you weren't known as a home run hitter.
No, I didn't lead the decade in homers.
And you had 500 doubles in your career plus. I mean, I'm selling you short, but you reached the 500 double mark. Look at Cook. You were saying he can hit, and he can't. That's his 6th hit this year. And that batting average up to 300. So I'm going to guess in the 90s, just by putting 2 and 2 together, Mark Grace.
I did have the most doubles in the 1990s. You would be correct.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You got to be proud of that.
Thank you. It's like I said, it's something that a lot of people don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I would have had a lot more triples if I could have run.
You weren't very fast, were you?
No, not really. I stretched a lot of triples into doubles.
That one is low and in. You did have, during that scoreless streak, a triple.
Here we go again.
You know, the one back in 92.
Well, I remember that flu. They call it the flu of 1992. It's famous. Boy, I was sick.
Gonzalez, did he do it again? Fly ball center field, got it off the end of the bat. He homered to lead off the ball game. And now hits a fly ball to deep center field. And, of course, this time he wasn't able to square it up. Good pitch. So now Seth Smith. Ian's done a nice job against left-handed hitters. I'm going to guess, just to think about it, and you can help us as a long-time left-handed hitter in the big leagues yourself. That's a breaking ball in there.
Look
Lefties.
at Chris Snyder. Goodness, that's good stuff.
And that's a curveball that pitch tonight. He hasn't had that. That's why we see more sliders.
He hasn't had that at all. You're right. I mean, he's barely getting him to the dirt area. Well, Snyder, that is just so well done.
But lefties hit just 210 against Kennedy. Righties hit 250. It's not as if that's a high total. Is it because of that pitch right there that he's handled lefties? I
think so. The changeup probably a little more effective against the left-handed hitter than the right-handed hitter because it goes down and away from the lefty instead of down and in to the right-hander.
What did you tell yourself on a righty with a good changeup?
Oh, boy. One of the better right-handed, well, Trevor Hoffman has an unbelievable changeup. As Smith swings right through that. It was a big, mighty rip right there. By the strong man with 8 home runs, Seth Smith. As Harry Carey would have said, he was going for the downs.
Mm-hmm.
But you just had to tell yourself, a guy with a really good changeup. Me personally, I didn't want him to get to the changeup. I would try to be aggressive early in the count on the fastball. If I got a good fastball to hit early in the count, you know, it's the old cliche. Get him before he gets you. Don't let him get to that good changeup.
Certainly the out pitch. He'll throw it to righties, but not as much. 3-1 the count. He'll throw it this count on occasion as well. He didn't. He threw a fastball, and he torched it. Seth Smith with his 9th home run of the year. And for Smith, he has 6 hits against Arizona this season. 4 of them have been homers. Didn't throw him a 3-1 changeup. We've seen him do it on occasion. This time, though, it's a fastball and it's a homer.
Yeah, you're going to give up a lot of home runs if you throw 3-1 fastballs right here. Oh, my goodness. Those are hard not to hit a long ways when you're as strong as Smith. That got out of here quickly.
Dexter Fowler on the mend, working his way back. Meantime, Seth Smith has been cashing in. Now, these Rockies are starting to get a little healthier, but their reserves, it's that old word adversity. They're just not accepting anything as excuses.
And you've got guys on your bench that can play. Guys like Seth Smith. Guys like Ryan Spilborghs. Jason Giambi comes off the bench. And these guys are deep.
And I was incorrect in a sense. Dexter Fowler was actually optioned out, and Smith took advantage of the opportunity. But they have worked this year at times without Jorge De La Rosa, without Houston Street, still working without those two, without Franklin Morales, as that one misses. They lost Haupt for a while, Hamill for a while, Francis.
Yet they're right in the thick of things.
And
good for Jim Tracy and what he's done.
Game. He had a good attitude about it. One and two, the count. They have played two by win-loss of opposing teams, the 5th toughest schedule in Major League Baseball. Ran that slider in, got on the side of it just a little bit. 2-2 the count. That slider is what locked up Helton last time out. He took it and it was a called third strike. Down the line it goes. In 07, of course, it was heartbreak in October at the hands of the Colorado Rockies in the National League Championship Series for the Diamondbacks. In 08, the Diamondbacks got a measure of revenge. They steamrolled, and I mean knocked around the Rockies, 15-3 that year. But since then, Colorado has not only evened the score, but they have close to dominated the series, 15-9. Hit him with a pitch.
It's almost like he put his elbow right in front of it accidentally, and that one took a big bite out of Todd Helton. He's hurting. He is hurting. Watch. I don't think he expects this to hit his elbow. He just sticks it right down in front, and it gets him flush. That hurts.
So he hung there, and it's the old funny bone. There's really nothing funny about it.
About getting hit there. You want to take a knee right in the batter's box and cry.
Tulowitzki hitting over 400 against the Diamondbacks this year as he takes a pitch for a strike, including touching up Ian Kennedy earlier this season, one of his 2 home runs against Arizona. 7 home runs, 27 batted in. The 0-1 is outside. 1-1 the count. Hugging down the line, and in that ball game on the 25th of May was 5 innings, 3 runs allowed, and a 3-2 loss. He didn't have his good stuff at all that day, but grinded it through. Learned a lot about himself. Did Kennedy. Outside, 2-1 the count.
Yeah, falling a lot behind a lot of hitters in this inning.
Kennedy, outside of 1 outing, missed all of last year. Started to feel tinglings on the end of his fingers, and then losing sensation. Ended up that he had an aneurysm in his pitching arm, similar to what David Cohn experienced at one point in his career, out front with a changeup. That's 61 pitches, by the way. a 20 per inning, something he did his first few starts.
Yeah,
but
that's
then
a
he
lot.
reeled it in.
That's a bunch. He's only 1 out into the 3rd.
And he's only rolled up 2 double plays this year. 2-2 the count, 3-2 the score. Reaching out. How about that? How about 3 double plays this year?
That'll keep your pitch count down.
Oh, baby, that's just what the doctor ordered. Pulled him with a slider. You could see Tulowitzki talking about it. I don't know if I'd ever be looking for that one. Got him reaching out for just the 3rd time this year, a pitcher's best friend. Right field. That'll be on the right field wall. And that one dives outside. As that one is high and away. 2-0 the count. Hey, Uptown's starting to fill up there in the left field upper deck.
Is that Uptown?
No, Uptown's in right field.
Oh.
But there is a great gathering of fans up there, up in the left field upper tank. And good for them.
Filled. I like it.
Pitch is high.
4 wide ones.
AT&T and our trivia question. We got Mark Grace. There they are up there. It's good for them. Looks like a big group gathered together.
Group of folks up there.
Now you, Mark Grace, in the 90s with doubles. How about Todd Helton? I mean, the other number 17.
That's a number 17 night tonight.
Ah, very good.
And I'm very proud to be in his company. He had a lot more than I did. 431 doubles in a decade.
Three to 2 the score. Justin with the home run back in the first inning. And a pickoff throw sends him back to the bag. For Upton, by the way, home run number 9. And with this last road trip, most of these Diamondbacks just have better numbers at home. And if they weren't that way before they left, they are now. You got to be careful up there if you're cooked. 2-0 the count as that one misses.
Called that a ball, huh?
Yes, he did. Check it, by the way. The count 1-0. Here's Uptown. Sat out there on the last homestand.
That's what you told me. How was it, big league?
Oh, it's a great time. Folks are having fun out there. All different kinds of fans, young and old. Got families out there. You have college kids out there. Everything. Everyone's well behaved, within reason.
As they should be.
They're well behaved, but they're having fun. We don't want boring people in Uptown.
No. I mean, yeah, we got to have some excitement out there. But no, you don't want, like, hoodlums.
That was kind of the rule we had in Redheads. Remember that section?
Oh, man, we had a good time with those folks. We miss them.
Yes, we do. 2-0. And his homer, by the way, if you missed it, folks, it was a no-doubter, and it got out of here fast back in the first inning. I mean, Gracie, that's a long way.
That's a very long way, and it got out of here quickly.
3-0 green light. Shoots it down the line.
That's what I like to do. If you're going to swing at 3-0, swing it with bad intentions like that. I mean, that thing needs to be headed north like that. On the pull side, fastball running in. Yeah. Go ahead and take a mighty rip at it. It's plenty foul, but boy, crushed it.
Well, that's out there in section 137. Tops that one. Hugging the line. It's going to be tough. Stewart throws. Hampton comes off the bag. A homer. And then an infield single for the fleet of foot Justin Upton. So 2 hits tonight as Arizona tries to erase their deficit.
Swinging bunt this time. Really, Ian Stewart does everything he can do, but Upton would have beat it easily.
Here's Stephen Drew.
An opportunity now for Stephen Drew to make this a possible big inning. Keep the line moving. Set up the boys in the middle of the order. Strike on the outside corner.
Drew this year with a much higher clip with the bases empty than with runners in scoring position. And on 0-1. That one grabs the outside. Cook is still up quite a bit for having that sinker. It's really not where you want to throw it. Arizona, by the way, 2 hits in their last 28 at-bats. You can see the differences with runners in scoring position. 2 for their last 28. Cook's dreaming about a double play here. One and 2 the count. Peering over those great seats in center field.
Fellow on the left peering over some nachos.
Yes. The 1-2.
Just went after him with a 4-seam fastball that time, Darren. I mean, he just challenged him in the middle of the plate. Drew had a nice rip at it, but I mean, this is center cut.
Leo out there to talk about things with Cook. It was a couple of years ago in 08 that Cook went over the 200-inning pitch mark. Hasn't done it many times in his career. 211 innings, won 16 games in 08. Beat the Dodgers last time out, 6 1/3, 1 earned run. Got him with a curveball. What a great pitch. Bottom fell out of that one.
You can just see how badly fooled there Stephen Drew is.
So now Adam LaRoche. He grounded out to short back in the first inning. The Diamondbacks, with a couple of more runs, will be in a much better spot. But when they score 4 runs or less this year, they are 1-27. There are times you have to win a game 4-3, or 3-2, or 1-0. They just haven't been able to. Pickoff play, and Tulowitzki tried to sneak in behind. Adam, on this road trip, hit just 185 without a long ball. And has 3 hits in his last 19, so he'd love to get it going back here at home. This might help. Base hit right field. On the back end, stabbing at it with a good arm as Hop hits the cutoff man. So the bases remain loaded. That's got to feel good. He doesn't play to run, but that was a rocket shot to right field.
Got another sinker that stayed up in the zone. Rose pounds it, but unfortunately, one hop right to Hop. And he has a very good arm. Kelly Johnson's going to have to stay at third base. And we got a equipment issue with Kelly over in the third base dugout. Well, looks like he's got a little blood. Dave Edwards out there he's actually in the dugout taking care of it.
And Sogna comes over to check on things, and all Dan does, we tell you, Mark Wagner, Jerry Meals, and Dale Scott, the entire crew, and we also tip our caps to the class personified and humility of Jim Joyce in Detroit, Michigan over the last couple of days.
That could have been a really ugly situation for baseball, and it ended up being a really bright spot for the game of baseball. And how about the class of Armando Galarraga?
Oh, you bet. Look forward to shaking his hand. That pitch is high. Joyce, immediately after seeing it after the game, said he cost him a perfect game.
And you could hear in his voice, and you could see just how distraught he was by it.
One of the best umpires in baseball.
No question.
And most respected.
No question. Loved Jim Joyce. Loved being out on the field with him. He missed it. You know what? And that's okay.
I was convinced he beat the throw until I saw the replay. The moment yesterday, of course, with Galarraga taking out the lineup card and tears streaming down the face of Jim Joyce.
How about Jim Leland handing the lineup card to Galarraga? That ended up being a really good moment in the game of baseball.
The 1-1. Fly ball right. Hop heading over toward the line. Makes the play as he bangs into the corner.
Ties
the ball game up on a sacrifice fly. Nice play by Brad Hart. Both runners. With LaRoche staying good, both Upton and Johnson move on down.
Over in the corner, makes the play, bangs into the wall, gets it back in quickly. Johnson scores easily. It's a nice job by Mark Reynolds, driving in his 40th run of the season.
It's a big number. 40 RBIs, and the Diamondbacks, their last 6 runs had come via the homer, so it's nice to see him manufacture a run. They'd have loved the grand slam, don't get me wrong.
Sure, but easier said than done. The way the offense has been going, especially on the road trip, sacrifice flies are just fine.
And a manufactured run. Good to see Mark out there. Obviously, as we said, spent his off day yesterday here. I think the last place anybody in a Diamondbacks uniform would want to be is here on an off day. Well, he did, because he wanted to play today. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. That moment in Detroit turned out, if you have children out there, and I'm sure you've already shown them or told them the story, couldn't be a better teaching moment with regard to sportsmanship that there is.
I agree with you.
And the Tiger fans as well.
In the Tiger organization, they gave him a Corvette. In their mind, it was a perfect game. In everybody's mind, and even Jim Joyce's. But I think Armando Galarraga, because of the class he showed in that situation, Darren, and the way all this worked out, I know personally, I'm going to remember him a lot more than I remember Dallas Braden or Roy Halladay.
And I would agree with you. You clearly will. And you know what? So will your boys, and so will kids around that watch that situation. All the kids in Detroit certainly know who he is.
And Detroit's had a rough go this year. Economy-wise, you know, the people in Detroit, as you see, the newest Diamondback.
He came from Detroit, Dontrell Willis.
But the fans of the Tigers and the city of Detroit, hats off to you.
We'll be there in a few weeks. That one bounces in there. 3-2 the count. And we'll find Armando Galarraga right away. This is key, keeping that runner obviously from scoring, but also that runner at first. Young fly to center field. He stands at 39 runs batted in as well. LaRoche will take off from first on a full count. Ball falling backwards as Stewart hops up. And just in time. Good to be back home. Derrick Hall, the president and CEO of the Diamondbacks. We welcome him up here. It is good to be back home. And upon coming home, my friend, we heard you quite a bit. We read about quite a bit. This organization right now kind of going through a reflective state, aren't they?
Well, we need to, that's for sure. The way we've been playing, it's been a disappointing start to the season. It's been a disappointing couple of seasons. I mean, this is carried on really from 2008, and something is wrong. Something is missing. You look at this bunch collectively, they're just not getting it done.
Where does it start? I mean, is it communication with everyone? Is it and obviously the leaders, the key leaders in the team, but how did you guys begin this process?
Well, we're in full evaluation right now, full assessment. But going into the season, there was so many high expectations for this team. Fans felt good about the team. We made some additions that we thought would make a difference, and for whatever reason, again, they just haven't. And you know, we at the end of the day, what's important is the results on the field, and we need to do a better job. And our fans, our paying fans in particular, really deserve better. So we're going to do all we can now to identify the problems, see how we can correct them. And it's really everybody. Everyone's got to look in the mirror, including myself and front office staff, the coaching staff, the players. The players have to look in the mirror. I think they'd be the first to admit they're embarrassed by the way the season has started. But we all are, and we expected to certainly be in the thick of things. And granted, anything can turn around. You can get back into a race. Look at the Rockies last year, and we need to. But at the same time, even if we were to, we need to admit that we've got some flaws that we have to fix.
In your mind, can this thing get straightened out?
Oh, yeah, I think so. The beauty of our sport, and you know this, Gracie, better than anyone, is you can go from one season to the next and turn it around. We of course, have to get lucky a little bit. We need to make some moves that make sense. We need the type of player that's going to want to come in here and make a difference. We need players that are going to grind out at bats. We need players that are going to get upset when they lose. I'm not saying they don't. This team wants to win, obviously. Of course. But for whatever reason, we just haven't.
But you don't want losing to become comfortable, and that can happen with any team or any collection of players. It can.
No question, right? We want to get back in the habit of winning, and we want to, kick teams when they're down. You want to put the foot on the throat and keep it there and keep going. We've seen glimpses with this team. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, we haven't been able to get on full cylinders at the same time. The bullpen has struggled. We know that all season. It seems like when the starting pitching gets hot, the bats aren't there. We had such a good offensive series here before we went on the road, and the bats got cold. I mean, we need some consistency, obviously.
I think as a fan, and I am one, I sit up here as a fan. I know you are as the boss, but as a fan, it's refreshing to hear how honest you guys have been and openly disappointed. I think fans like to hear it. All right, let's talk about some good stuff. Is that okay?
Yeah, you bet.
Is that okay? I mean, the new spring home, it just looks beautiful. Drive by it all the time. Gracie, I know you do, too, from your neck of the woods.
And I appreciate that.
And, that was very good. And it has a new name we have found out. Tell us about it.
It does have a new name and a new logo. We're excited, and it makes you realize just how close it is. When you're already naming it, and you look at the unveiling of the logo, and it's called Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. As you know, it's on the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community land. It's the first ever built on an Indian reservation. We're excited about that as well. They've been great partners. That community, along with the Rockies, have been terrific partners. It's going to be the best there is in baseball by far. And every day you go out there, you see even more and more progress. I can't wait. We're going to have more ways in and out of the complex. We're going to have more shade than any other stadium, have more interactivity up close with the players than any other place. It's going to be fantastic for our fans.
1-1 the count. Derrick Hall joining us, the president and CEO of the Arizona Diamondbacks. So if people head that way, obviously it's still a working and an active construction site, but visibly, I mean, you can see things now. I mean, it's not now just, clearing dirt away. There, you can literally, I know we're going to show some B-roll, but it's obvious how it's coming together.
You can see the stadium for sure. You know where every part of that stadium is going to be, which, by the way, is 11,000 seats. It's going to be the largest berm, 4,000 in the outfield, and it's going to be phenomenal. You look at that, and you see it. The dugouts are in, the tunnels are in. You see steel up around the press box now, all around the actual stadium itself. You can now see where the fields are starting to come along. There's a big lake down on the Rocky side. At first I was jealous, but now I'm seeing all the geese and ducks already in there, and I'm okay.
Full of fish?
No fish.
Can we drop a line in the water?
You can drop a line, sure.
We have to know a Rocky, though. It's on the Rocky side.
Oh, okay. I'll see if I can talk to Ian Stewart, because he just struck out.
Ian Stewart goes
He'd rather
down
be
on
fishing
strikes.
right now.
Well, and amongst, as we'll see the replay on this strike three, amongst, on the tough side, again, to go back to it, amongst the meetings and the evaluations of the current roster, the management around it, and all of that that's going on, you also have the draft coming up on Monday, so this is a tough time to not be winning.
Yeah, we do. Well, it's also, a good time to focus on the future.
Okay.
And the draft is part of the future, but that's part of the full evaluation as well, I'm excited that we're going through the process because we're going to turn it around. We're going to turn it around. Will it be this year? You talked about honesty. I mean, Darren, Mark, it would be dishonest for me to stand here and tell you I'm excited about the way the season has gone and I'm optimistic we're going to turn it around, we're going to start winning. I haven't seen indications to believe that. I mean, we have to believe that things could continue the way they are, so it's up to us to change them. It's up to us to find where the problems are. For whatever reason, again, this group has not won. And it's not just this year, and it's nobody's fault. But there are changes that are needed.
Well, Derrick, let's hope the fellas that are on the field are as accountable as you are, because that's refreshing to have. And hopefully it will trickle. Your accountability will trickle all the way down, and good things will start to happen.
Well, I hope so, and I think it is. Again, saying how the players are not happy with the results, that's obvious to me.
Okay. congratulations on this day. We appreciate you coming up here and answering not fun questions, but I think it's great that you do. I mean, it really, really is.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, my
We'll
friend.
turn it around.
Thank you, sir.
We'll get there.
Six-run taco giveaway anytime the D-backs. That's great. We want
Me
free
too.
tacos.
We're home for a while.
Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the next day. We want free tacos too. Woo, woo, the sign said.
Woo, woo.
Woo, woo, we want free tacos. I like working for a company that has a leader like that, by the way.
That's what I was just saying. Love the accountability.
And that's not easy to do.
No.
I mean, even when we're sitting here talking, you
not.
can see the steam start to come out of his ears. And I'll be truthful with you folks. We like to let you behind the scenes. He came in moments before the inning started. We discussed nothing that we were about to discuss. He made himself available to us, and he should, to discuss the exciting spring training steps. And kudos, that's going to be one of his legacies as the leader.
Sure.
And he deserves it. So I'm not saying we blindsided him, but he was more than willing to talk about all of that.
He was very honest.
Barra hits a high fly ball to left field. And that one is put away. Let's flash back to see another Cabot Woods stain. This date in Major League Baseball history, a legendary performance on this date in 1968. Big D, Don Drysdale's 6th consecutive shutout, 54 innings, a mark that would later be passed by Dodger great Orel Hershiser.
Those are some bad swings.
That means he's setting it up. My guess is with some pitches in, because he used to do that.
Back when you didn't wear a batting helmet.
And a great memory. We hope you were watching Andy Myers,
whom we adore.
But a great moment in baseball history. Two and 0 the count. Bouncing ball. That's a foul ball. Are there any signs in the upper deck, by the way?
I don't know. I'm going to have to get my binoculars out and take me a look-see. But one thing is for sure, Darren, we need more signs.
You know what? I'm
and
glad to
you
hear you
haven't
say
said
that
this year, and I'm disappointed that you haven't said that.
See beautiful Arizona on a motorcycle. How about that?
All right.
Well, that's a sign. We need more signs like that. Look forward to seeing you. This is a 10-game homestand, so we look forward to spending time with all of you. 2-2 the count. A lot of state representation. State flag in that heart there. Kids are out of school and they have a little bit more time, but they're not wasting their artistic gifts. I want to see kids with more signs. That one is off the end of the bat. That's a foul ball. Out there beyond the Diamondbacks bullpen section, 137. 500 employees that have gathered together from Quest tonight. And we certainly love Quest. We love our post-game show, the show you and I host on the road.
Yes.
Quest Diamondbacks Live. Brad and Joe hosting it at home tonight. They're down in their palatial green room suite booth, whatever you'd like to call it down there, getting ready for the game. Love to have a spot like that. 2-2.
Recliners. All they can eat.
High pop. Ian Stewart. Right there in the pocket of the glove. And Chris Snyder has raced again, came in hitting over 500 in his career.
Just got out in front of a fastball. Disappointingly popped it up. I'm just glad to be home where I can finally get some good popcorn here at the ballpark.
Cactus corn.
Yeah, cactus corn. They always take good care of me and us. Now I'm going to have to head down there between innings, get me some, because the popcorn on the road where we were stinks.
Well, we had some in Denver that
awful
set you back 2 days.
Oh, man, I was almost as sick as back in 1992.
Oh, the flu of '92. What a scoreless streak that was.
Went right through the Cubs clubhouse.
Down he goes. And by the way, we raise up a prayer for the John Wooden family and the UCLA sports family. Mr. Wooden lost his life, and at 99 years old, he passed away. Glad to have you back at the ballpark. A lot of support for the home state tonight. I love that. It's bigger than this baseball team. It's state pride, and we're seeing a lot of it.
I like seeing it, too.
That is wonderful. We love it, too, folks. We love this great state of Arizona. We're glad to be back home with all of you. Glad to see this club in a ball game.
And the heat's coming.
It is, but as I've learned, this is now, what, my 4th summer here? I've learned that the heat in the day is bearable when there are still mild nights. Now, that will be gone, too. But next week, you're talking about mid to high 100s, maybe 108. But you're still talking about 80s, high 70s at night, and that makes the day doable in the end, doesn't it?
100% agree.
But when you get to 117 and
yeah, that's hot.
And 101 at night, it's not quite as beautiful.
But you know, the great thing about when it starts to get that hot, it becomes monsoon season.
It does.
I love monsoon season.
Well, I'm glad you do.
Well, thanks.
The 1-2. That pitch is away. When it gets good and hot, about 117, and it's monsoon season, you know what I love?
What?
Road trips.
Very well said.
No, I miss all of you guys. I love this ballpark because we can cool it down. Hey, our boss, by the way, who was up here, kind of, I think, initially took a little bit of a leap of faith. We were looking around, wow, opening the roof. I'm glad he did. It's beautiful tonight, isn't it, with the roof open? Really, I thought it'd be hotter than this.
105 degrees today, I believe, and it's absolutely perfect in here in this ballpark.
2-2 the count.
Another thing I think Derrick Hall does very well. Man, he opens that roof.
Mm-hmm. Well, there comes a point when you can't anymore.
Of course.
And that's that time of year we're talking about, July and August, and even the early parts of September. Fly ball, center field. The Home Depot invites you to join along as Chris Snyder and his Diamondbacks do more on defense. The little things behind the plate. Not just catchers throwing out runners attempting to steal. It's blocking. You'll never see any of this.
Snuffing those would-be wild pitches, exactly.
And here's that guy. Carlos Gonzalez.
Yes, he is.
We have an Amica hit zone for him. Our good friends with Amica Insurance. And I have to admit, I'm stunned with what I see, as that breaking ball is a strike, that there are only 3 hot zones. Although as I look across the way and I see a 378, I'm surprised that that's any sort of a cool zone. But I guess we have really high standards with the Amica hit zone.
378. Man, he stinks. Oh, better put a blue square up there.
Don't tick him off either, folks, by the way.
Gonna have to release him. 378.
0-2 the count. Chasing up and away.
After a couple of breaking balls. Got the fastball, let her high and right by him. Good pitch. Good sequence.
Good news for college baseball fans. We've talked about our state pride.
What
really
we got?
Being evident tonight. Well, the U of A in the Fort Worth Regional won their opening round game, defeating Baylor 10-9. 10-9 was the final there.
Oh, I bet you that was a nail biter. Congrats to the Wildcats.
Just up the road, it's the bottom of the 3rd inning. ASU is leading 5-1 on top of the University of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or University of Milwaukee Panthers. UW Milwaukee. That one is 5-1, bottom of the 3rd. The only Division I baseball team in the state of Wisconsin is UW Milwaukee.
You're kidding.
Not Marquette, not Wisconsin, not Wisconsin Green Bay. It's the only D1 program in the state.
That seems dumb.
They're proud of it, no doubt.
They should be. Gas.
Chases a fastball up. And when I spoke with their head coach yesterday of UW Milwaukee, he said, you know, Sutton, I think we got a tough draw on this one. Diamondbacks regular season home games. Gila River Casinos, Kachinko. I think we need to do a game from out there.
We do? I really don't think that'd be a very good idea, to be honest with you. At the Kachinko machine. Oh, man. What memories that'll.
One and 0. Bouncing ball. It's a foul ball. 1-1 to count. Quest High Speed Internet, high speed pitch. Cook getting 94. Kennedy getting 92. Both these pitchers locked up at 3 apiece. As that sinking fastball is low, 3-1 the count.
Having himself 3 good at-bats now.
He can draw some walks.
There's a reason he's scored 2 of the 3 runs. I mean, he's really making Cook throw the ball over the plate, laying off some tough sinkers.
So now Justin Upton. Johnson has walked twice. He's also singled, and as we mentioned, scored twice. He's got 30 walks this year. Pitch is high, and the count is 1-0. Kelly's on base percentage now at .370 on the season. What does that mean, you might ask? Well, league average on base percentage is .329. So not only does he have the home run totals, high for a second baseman, I would imagine you would tell us, at 12.
Very high.
But he'll reach well above league average. .370 is a pretty solid on base percentage.
Well, in a season here in June that's been a disappointment, team-wise, that man has not been a disappointment. He's been terrific.
The 1-0. 2-0 the count. Such a difference strike one makes. There's a good example. And they're going to come out and talk with him. Upton. If it is strike one and he sees that sinker on 0-1, he may go after it.
That's exactly right.
And it's a ground ball double play. You young pitchers out there, that's how important it is. Action in the bullpen. Lefties galore down there.
Are you planning a special event for your company, school, or group of friends? Well, I am. Take the hassle out of the event planning and contact a D-backs group sales representative to do it for you. They'll customize flyers, set up food and beverage, get you into the best seats in the house. Call 602-462-4794 or visit dbacks.com/groups.
A lot of groups here tonight.
It's great.
Pitch is high. 3-0 the count. Great way to come in. We were speaking of the heat of summer. Great way to get your group together, enjoy a ball game and an outing in a big wide open space as Daly warms the righty, Flores the lefty, and enjoy a baseball game is a group outing here to the yard. Upton, my goodness. Stewart goes down in a pile. That's reminiscent to Manny Ramirez lining out to Mark Reynolds a couple of years ago.
That reminds me a lot of that. You're right, Darren. 3-0 swinging, got the pitch he wanted, and nearly decapitated Ian Stewart.
And again, that's what you want, 3-0.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. You want that ball headed to the pull side with some steam behind it.
Dontrell Willis is on the mound tomorrow for the Diamondbacks. I am too. He is really excited about this opportunity.
Got to get that hat right. But
you can tell him. He'll listen to you. He's down there with Edwin Jackson, and that was his teammate last year in Detroit. I think Edwin's going to be able to provide a good bit of guidance for him. There's no doubt about that, as that one is fouled off.
He's one of the nicer young men you'll ever meet, Dontrell Willis.
Folks are going to enjoy it. We just hope for his sake and for this team's sake you enjoy pitching effectively. It's been a tough couple of years in Detroit, as you can see. But today, I tell you, he was able to set the reset button in his career and his life. He had that attitude today.
Good.
He was recollecting when he was a member of the Mesa Cubs out here in rookie ball, that he got to come over to a Diamondbacks game. Well, at some point you'll hear where he sat at that game. And he went up and reminded himself how far he's come. Kind of a rags to riches to rags, baseball playing wise anyway. He's been very blessed financially. And he hopes back to riches again.
Stephen having trouble with Aaron Cook. A shallow fly ball his first time up, struck out his second time up.
One and two, the count. Bouncing ball, and it is a foul ball. You know what? Let's listen to Dontrell Willis, his memories of being a member of the Mesa Cubs here in rookie ball.
Especially with a beautiful ballpark like Chase Field. I mean, just walking up here, I mean, it's one of those things where it's kind of I don't even know if I want to say a hidden gem, but it's always been a beautiful ballpark. I've always enjoyed coming here. I remember in 2000, I came here to watch the Cubs when I was with the Mesa Cubs, actually, in A-ball, and I sat in row ZZ up there, and I actually walked up there to see, you know, how far I've come from 10 years back, you know, and it's really a humbling but a good experience to feel that, you know what I mean, and I still feel that, you know, my palms are all sweaty just being here and excited, so, you know, most definitely, and we just have to do that every single day and play hard, and we definitely have a talented ball club, so I'm really looking forward to it.
He went all the way up to the upper deck when he came in here today and sat in the seat that he sat in when he was a rookie ball kid.
Somewhere up there with Bob Uecker?
That's exactly right.
That's all right. Those are good seats.
Oh, you bet.
Come on out and sit in them, folks.
Dontrell might sit with you. Slow breaking ball.
Should probably do a game from up there.
Yeah, actually, we probably should. Let's send it on down to Mark McClune, who will rescue me from this mess. Big Mac.
Just noticing standing next to the Diamondbacks dugout, the difference in body language of the team from when they walked in the clubhouse today. It's almost like Dontrell Willis just being in the dugout just kind of breathes a little bit of life into this team. Now, I know he hasn't pitched yet, he hasn't taken the mound yet, but he just has so much personality, so much energy. He knows all these guys, and just kind of a refreshing mindset, and just kind of keeping the guys on their toes down here.
I would agree with that. And just someone, we talked about it in our interview. You'll hear the entire interview in our pregame show tomorrow. But we talked about that a little bit. He's a guy who was lost. He hopes he finds his way. This is a club that's lost right now. And so as he seeks baseball redemption, there's an entire roster down there. And see him walking up and down, clapping, getting to know his teammates. But again, he'll be the first to tell you that I will provide that energy, but I need to pitch well too.
Exactly right.
And he knows it. And so we hope he does, and we're excited. We hope it's a turnaround. That one is low. 1-1 the count. Or I should say 2-0 the count. At ASU games, now in the top of the fourth inning, they lead the Milwaukee Panthers 5-1. Baseball, regionals, right down the road. Over the outside, 2-1 the count. I think I might have to stop by, see some college baseball action this weekend, Gracie.
Yeah? What? You're not going to come do the Diamondback games?
Oh, no, you can do both.
Oh!
That's the great thing about it. It can be days full of baseball.
I thought I was going to get the governor or something this weekend. You're just going to some college baseball games.
Right, I'm coming to the big league game, too.
Oh, okay.
Get the D train tomorrow night.
Yeah, you're not going to miss the D train, are you?
Well, I may take the light train or light rail to catch a D train from up on campus. That's the best way to move around.
Gotcha. No, that's true.
The 2-2. Jolt, and it's foul down the line. Hey, Gracie, don't forget replay returns with an all-new season. After 11 years, Gatorade reunites two high school rivals looking to finally settle the score. Don't miss the documentary premiere June 20th at 9 right here on Fox Sports Arizona.
It's a big hockey rivalry, isn't it? Back there in Michigan somewhere.
You bet it is. I'm glad you asked. It's the 99 Detroit Catholic Central Shamrocks and the Trenton Trojans. Part of replay 11 years later. Gordie Howe's the game day commission.
Oh, man. Whoa.
Down he goes on strikes as they stand a runner. Take the SMART train tomorrow to see the D train. He's been good tonight. Pitch count a little bit too high, but he's reeled it in lately. Your thoughts on what you've seen?
Well, he got off to a tough start. First batter of the game, homered. And that was Carlos Gonzalez. But since the third inning, he's been awfully good. Had a great inning last inning. Top of the fifth. Now he's going to start with Todd Helton, the great Todd Helton, here in the sixth. That's kind of been the MO the last couple of starts for Ian, Darren, and that is, kind of rocky early, kind of find your groove, and then in the middle innings really settle down nicely.
Didn't mean to. That was that changeup. Nice job making sure he had a grip on the baseball with those barking quads, Mark Reynolds. He knew who he had running. This is a nice play. Good pitch.
Good pitch, just a check swing there. I got to be honest, Darren. Never used to see swings like that from Todd Helton, did you?
No.
We said the same thing this weekend about our friend Garrett Anderson.
Here's Troy Tulowitzki. Curveball, pretty good one there. 1-0 the count, even though it missed. That may be the best curveball he's thrown. He's been bouncing a majority of them. Ian was talking about that curveball in San Francisco. As the fastball is a strike. Our Mika Insurance hit zone for Troy Tulowitzki. Oh, really? So his 333 is red, and the 378 for Carlos Gonzalez is blue. I love our good friends with Amica Insurance and their partnership. Still struggling with the hit zone. Got to be honest with you. If I could just bring you folks, again, behind the scenes with us. Love Amica Insurance.
Well, how can you not?
Can't get enough of them and Adam Dunn.
You know, that's well said as that was pulled down the left field line. That is a foul ball. Tulowitzki still running to second base. Just foul. Dan Iasonia with the call. Change up. Tulowitzki drills it. Let's take us a look-see. Just foul. Good call there by the third base umpire. Well, that was a great shot there we had.
3-3 the score. Ready to go back to work, and Tulowitzki walks around, walks it off. He struck out, grounded into a 1-6-3 double play, which is rare because Tulo had only rolled into a double play a handful of times this year, and then 3 induced all told by Kennedy. Just 3, and that's a low number. Good pitch, buried it in. He's got time. And legged out by Tulowitzki. Looked like suddenly he became pretty uncomfortable in throwing that ball. It jumped up and bit him somewhere, didn't it?
Well, it was a bullet off the bat of Tulowitzki, and it took a bite out of Kelly Johnson. Let's see where it got him. Yeah, it got him right on the meat hand, it looked like. That's why I don't think they was able to get anything on it.
It's an error, but that's a tough error, boy.
That ball was smoked.
So now Brad Hawk. Fastball is outside. 1-0 the count to Brad. It was back in 2004 when Arizona dropped 14 consecutive games in July. They're riding right now a 10-game free fall. As that one is in. 2-0 the count. Hawk 2 for 12 with his numbers coming in against the Diamondbacks. One of those to a home run against Ian.
Well, be careful with this pitch here. 2-0 fastballs tend to go a long way if they're in the middle of the plate. Let's see if he can. He got it to the outside corner. That one took a bite out of Chris Snyder.
Boy, that was that changeup. Do you remember he was looking for it?
And it was down.
That was one of those where he had to be, and you knew it had to be looking changeup. And he shoots it on over and drives him back to the bag. Yeah, as we mentioned, that series tomorrow, Jhoulys Chacín, who has been very good for Jim Tracy's
really
squad, against Dontrell Willis, who is 1-2 with a 4.98 with the Tigers. And Rodrigo Lopez is on the mound, as that one is outside. He'll be.
Which ace did he draw this time?
Well, he drew Ubaldo Jimenez.
Poor Rodrigo's had some tough draws, hadn't he?
That will be Sunday. We'll have both games for you. And by the way, folks, just to let you in on another behind-the-scenes tidbit, this man, my color analyst, he'll be here all weekend.
Yes, I will. I am not leaving you this weekend, pal.
3-1, swings right through, a double pump, and it's a stolen base there for Troy Tulowitzki. I'm not sure if Chris couldn't get it out of his glove or just get the right grip, but it looked like he tried a couple times to throw it.
Yeah, just running on the pitch. Chris Snyder's got him, and then that extra little double pump ended up costing him the caught stealing, so a stolen base for Troy Tulowitzki.
3-2 the count. Olivo waits on deck. Fouls it off. Don't forget, tomorrow on Fox Saturday Baseball, they call it this show the same thing, Fox Saturday Baseball.
Well, for some reason.
It's Prince Fielder and the Brewers. It's Albert Pujols and the Cardinals in a showdown between the National League Central rivals. Fox Saturday Baseball, presented by Chevy, returns this week at 1 on Fox. You know what I was thinking. 3-2. On a backhand, LaRoche. Well, he makes that look easy, but it's not, is it?
He has got a sweet pair of hands, boy. He does. He makes it look very effortless. This ball's hit pretty hard. Just an in-between hop. Nicely done there by LaRoche. Second big out.
Teach some of us, if you don't mind, Gracie. I never played anywhere in the infield, and I'd love to see that last angle we saw, if we have a chance in this at bat again. Because to me, as the layman, the non-infielder, it looked like he got low to the ground with that glove early.
Absolutely. And that's what you're taught to do. Nice save again by Snyder. He's been all over the place tonight.
But got low to the ground early.
Keep the glove low. Read it. Look low right there. And it can't get underneath your glove when you keep it low. And then you go low to high. If you get the further the ball bounces away, keep the glove on the ground. Now, if it comes up, you can easily bring your glove up. It's not easy to put your glove down. Ooh, good change up there from Kennedy.
Well, since the 12th day of May, middle of the month, Olivo has been rolling. 25 of 56, a 446 clip. A double, 3 triples, and 3 homers. That's right, 12 RBIs.
Wow.
He hit all year long in Kansas City last year.
Had a great year in Kansas City last year.
Caught Zach Greinke just about every time out. Backhand, and 2-1 the count on Olivo. Well, the bullpen's starting to go to work because over 100 pitches is Kennedy. That one is outside again. 3-1 the count. Now the top of the 5th inning on campus at ASU. 5-1 the score. ASU leading Milwaukee, the Panthers. Only Division I program in the state. You're still stunned by that. Got a runner at third, 2 outs. How to block it up, Chris. That pitch is high. Looked like a high slider. Yeah. Really looked fatigued in the manner in which he delivered that one.
Stottlemyre going to come out and have a conversation with his young right-hander.
It's a perfect time to make a visit here.
And really a perfect time for me to tell you this, Darren Sutton.
What's that?
Voting is now open for the 2010 All-Star Game in Anaheim. Help send all the deserving players to this year's All-Star Game by voting at dbacks.com. Vote early, vote often, vote a lot. Vote today at dbacks.com.
Did you see that sign a moment ago?
I didn't.
We're bringing Carr back.
You know what? Carr, you're right, lady. You are right.
That's what we're talking about here at the Ball Yard. All summer long, we want to see great signs. Well, the folks have done a good job tonight.
I agree. Got a nice crowd tonight, too. I'm proud of the crowd.
Well, we could go really deep on this because what this team has just done, and we know we get good numbers. People watch while we're on the road. For the folks to show up with signs and passion after what this club has gone through, really proud of our fans. And bring more signs. 3-3 the score. Ian against his old high school buddy who hits a high fly to right field. Upton going back to the wall, and it's gone. Together at La Quinta High School they played. A couple of guys bearing the same first name, certainly different skill sets. We talked about one another in spring training. They met one another in Colorado. Now this time, the two guys who were friends in high school, enemies on the diamond, and that is a huge, huge blow.
Those are 3 unearned runs right there, Darren. First pitch fastball right down Broadway, and Ian Stewart just clubs it high, majestic, long home run.
Outside, 1-0 the count. Out front, it's a number. In time for the out. Kennedy showed some signs of fatigue on a breaking ball. They tried to let him catch his breath. The tank, unfortunately, was at empty. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Your dollar. Hyundai, now the most fuel-efficient car maker in America. Visit valleyhyundaidealers.com. Ian Kennedy frustrated with what's going on. This is representative of everyone. This is Ian tonight. It's the bullpen a couple of nights ago. It's the offense over a 3-game span. It's the manager. It's the coaching staff. That's representative of a roster and their entire staff. But plenty of baseball left in this one. Maybe, just maybe for a change, these guys in the white can walk somebody else off.
Wouldn't that be nice? But Jim Tracy is now going to a very good bullpen.
You bet.
And the first guy he's going to go to is Matt Daly. Kind of a funky right-hander, if you will.
Jumps at you, doesn't
he?
We mention it every time. He's a great story, an undrafted free agent. Baseball's full of guys like this. But every story, when you speak of a young player like this, you know he had to, with no advantages at all, continue at every stop to prove himself. I mean every single stop. And be great at every stop.
You have to be.
The prospect can have a 4.5 ERA, but they know he's a prospect. As that one is lifted foul, 1-1 the count. Two and one the count. That one is outside. 3-1 the count. Here in just a moment, we'll take a peek down into the minor leagues as we talked about this young man. Kind of a surprise at every single level and daily. We're going to put the spotlight on an organizational player, a guy not necessarily known as a top prospect.
Okay, good.
The 3-1. Bouncing ball to short. Troy Tulowitzki shows off that arm. Waiting in the wings tonight, we shine the spotlight on Billy Spottiswoode, who is working right now down in Visalia. You can see the 15 appearances between the two. He did much better work, though, down in low A ball. He's bounced around level to level. Wherever Mike Berger needs him, when it was A.J. Hinch, he moved around a lot of places. 25 fifth-round pick, Gracie. Pitched 2 2/3, struck out 4 in relief. But he gave up a walk-off home run a couple of days ago, and a young man from Bakersfield enjoyed it way too much as he hit it. And he met that young man between second and third for a conversation as he was rounding the bases. And his teammates and his catcher backed him up.
Did he land a haymaker on him?
Well, a little bit later on, I think there was some blows. We haven't seen all the video. But I'll tell you this.
Attaboy, Mr. Spottiswoode.
It was 7 losses in a row. They were frustrated. They had it. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
They were embarrassed, and it's one thing to lose, but if you show me up, and the young man clearly showed him up, visit AZ Snake Pit. You can check out the video, azsnakepit.com. Spottiswoode, who, I'm not going to make him Crash Davis, but he's been all the way up to AAA, all the way down, and goes wherever they need him. Said, you don't do that to my team and my younger teammates. You don't do that.
And probably said it in a different tone.
Well, we're proud of him up here. We're proud of you, sir. And so he shined a light on you.
Keep it up.
1-2 the count. The old school Sidewinders hat. That's the Visalia club we're speaking of. The Rawhide was the Bakersfield Blaze. We don't like them anymore.
Nope, we don't like them. We hope they lose every game.
That one is low. And our director, Mitch Riggins, went by the beautiful new ballpark where the Reno Aces play.
Did he?
And we're going to have some video. He took us on a tour around the ballpark. David Avila saw Mitch standing outside and just invited him in. Drive down the line it goes. Touch them all, Chris Young. That snaps the streak for this Rockies bullpen of 20 1/3 scoreless. 20 1/3.
Long home run there off the bat of Chris Young. That's his 40th RBI of the season as well. Set off the fountains. Get a little excited in that dugout. Fastball runs in, and Chris Young just cuts it off and destroys it.
That is our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play. As the temperatures get hotter, call our good friends with Chaz Roberts air conditioning. Took off and ran around the bases in honor of Billy Spottiswoode.
He wouldn't have met him between second and third.
Oh, but I really like him. I mean, I'm a fan of that.
You know what? We're going to have to give him a shout out. We need to meet him.
Well,
I want to shake his hand.
He's in the middle of a short suspension, so maybe he can come visit.
Yeah, you got a private jet. Why don't you send it up there, pick up Billy, and have him come down and do an inning with us?
Oh, that's the last guy you used to work with here.
Yeah, that's Tom Brenneman. You're right. He's the private jet guy. That's true.
1-1 the count. But maybe Tommy will help us out with this one.
That would be nice.
He would like that story. He would like it.
He would love it. Tommy's got some old school in him.
Oh, you bet. Not his Reds, by the way.
Well, they're playing well.
The 2-1. Popped it foul, giving it a run. Stewart and Tulowitzki. It's about 5 rows back.
Battling Redlegs. They lost tonight, though, to the Washington Nationals and Big Adam Dunn.
Did they really?
That's a nice grab by that fan, by the way. Watch this grab here in Sutton. That is a great grab there.
Is that a contract?
I hope so.
Yep. Go give him a contract. And he's giving Troy Tulowitzki an earful.
Yep. That's definitely a contract right there. Nice grab.
An honorary contract. So once we go find him, he will receive 4 free tickets, 30% off at the team shop.
What's wrong, Troy? What's wrong, Troy? Oh, Tulo. I like that he knows the opposition, knows who he's up against, knows public enemy number 1.
Oh, and he is. The 2-2. Into right center field. They are playing him the other way. This will go all the way to the wall. The Diamondbacks answer back. And runner in scoring position. They're down by a pair. This is a solid answer back by Arizona.
Gerardo Parra picked out a fastball and just smokes it. Fastball in. You see just how far to the opposite field Gonzalez is playing, so it shoots the gap easily. And another runner in scoring position. Yeah, he didn't like Troy Tulowitzki staring him down. Yeah, I'm right here, he says. Troy says, I'm big league shortstop. He's loving life. Good for him. Having fun at the old ball yard.
Amen.
Having fun at the old ball yard.
And we look forward to seeing all of you this summer.
He wasn't swearing or doing anything.
No.
He was just giving him a little grief. Nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, that's kind of big league.
Hey, a little old-fashioned ribbing from your seats, as you say. Keeping it clean is welcome. There's nothing better than hearing intelligent fans that, like you say, know the name of the opponent, know that maybe a guy's won for his last 32. How you rolling lately?
Yeah, exactly. Or let's say he faced Ian Kennedy and he struck him out. How's Ian Kennedy looking?
2-0 the count.
Snyder, a big rip at a 2-0 fastball that came up empty.
That was a big swing. Reminded me of the man who plays now behind Steven Strasburg in AAA, Josh Weitzel, former Diamondback.
Oh, man. You know, you're right. Boy, could he take a mighty rip at it.
Two and one the count. Strasburg's coming to the big leagues, though. The 2-1. Boy, that breaking ball hung. Dangerous.
Yesterday, I got a chance during the off day. They actually televised Steven Strasburg's AAA game. I watched about 3 innings of it. He's officially ready for the major leagues.
You ready to go?
Yeah, it was no contest at the AAA level.
Washington in as that one is fouled back. Kind of want to plan ahead. And Washington having a nice year for a club that everyone wrote off before spring training.
Ryan Zimmerman having a big year.
But Washington will be in August 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So it's a 4-game series. And with a 4-gamer, you hope you got a chance to see the young man. He will be in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th of August.
Make your plans.
Pop foul.
Well, Snyder got one right in the middle, and he's disappointed in himself. He had a good rip at it.
So Chris will get ready to roll. I'm told, by the way, if Strasburg is off to like a 5-0 start, Rodrigo Lopez will get it.
That's a good point. Poor Rodrigo's had some tough draws. But he's not going to complain.
No way. He's glad to be in the big leagues, and we're glad to have him back. 3-2 the count. The 3-2. Bouncing ball short to Nowitzki. He's got a good arm. So Reynolds grounded to Tulo. Young homered. And he reaches the 40 RBI mark. Parra doubled, and now Snyder grounds out. Rusty Ryle to pinch hit. The night is done for Ian Kennedy. I saw him frustrated a moment ago, but well, here's hoping his mates will pick him up. We'd like to get one more, even if you stay down by a run, to get that one double across that followed.
Well, Rusty can hit a fastball. He can ambush a fastball. Daly throws a lot of them. Let's see if he can get one in the middle of the plate, a fat one, and turn it around.
Inside from Daly. 1-0 the count. Ryle hitless in his last 9 tries with runners in scoring position. The Diamondbacks have still, despite recent struggles, maintained a competitive number at 295. A lot of that was prior to the recent road trip. And obviously prior to a 10-game losing streak. 1-1.
Well, he was beaten by this fastball by Daly. Fastball runs in. You can see very tardy there is Rusty Ryle.
A better offensive night for Arizona. They were 5 for 45 with runners in scoring position on the trip.
That one got him.
Yeah, it's that breaking ball that he's left up there a couple of times. Now you got a couple of runners on from back to the top of the order. Man who's having a great night in Kelly Johnson.
Just a slider that does nothing, and you see it just gets the tricep, and then took a big bite out of Miguel Olivo.
Trace is looking to make a move, I think. Maybe a double switch. Let's see.
I would imagine so. I'm sure Kelly Johnson's going to get a left-hander, but Rockies have 3 of them.
Joe Bimel's a good one, maybe their best. More of a ball game, certainly, as Bimel comes on. He will face the lefty in Kelly Johnson. Should be interesting. Diamondbacks are going to get something done. Hey, by the way, baseball fans, you can now make your own cool play. Extreme heat is the #1 weather-related cause of illness in Arizona. Jazz Roberts, Carrier, and Goodman invite you to help Arizona families stay cool this summer. Nominate a deserving family to win a new air conditioning system for their home. Oh, I love that. For details, go to ChazRoberts.com/cool play. That is a good thing. Is it a good thing that the lefty came on? There's a couple of ways to look at it. #1, he's a tough lefty, and he is having a fabulous year for a guy who couldn't find work all winter and then into spring training in Joe Bimel.
Gosh, those numbers are just off the charts terrific. He inherits 2 base runners.
That pitch is a strike. 0-1 the count. In his career, Johnson, against left-handed pitchers, hits .298, .251 against righties. Oh, and 1 the count.
Pretty good fastball there, just missed the outside corner.
Remind us of Beimel. We say his name so often. He's one of the busiest relievers. We'll see this fastball here, but what is his stuff?
Well, it's just kind of a different delivery. Kind of throws across his body. Got a big sweeping breaking ball to go along with a high 80s fastball. He's not overpowering per se.
Strike thrower?
Yeah.
Like that?
That's an unhittable strike right there. Goodness gracious. Johnson thought it was down. And according to that, it was.
Beimel broke in with Pittsburgh, pitched with Minnesota, Tampa Bay, the Dodgers, Washington, and now Colorado, as that one is outside. 2-2 the count. Out of Duquesne University, up in St. Mary's, Pennsylvania. So we fit right in with the Pirates for a couple of years anyway. Like a lot of left-handed relievers, becomes a baseball vagabond. Always finding work.
Always finding work.
The 2-2. Boy, what a take.
That's a tough pitch to take. Johnson's already drawn 2 walks tonight. He scored twice. He's also collected a base hit. Right in the middle of another awfully good at-bat.
18 innings without giving up a run for this gentleman. In his first outing, he gave up a run in 1 inning, a homer. 18 innings since, nothing. Runners go. Kelly earns himself a walk. Boy, what an at-bat by Kelly Johnson. He just was disinterested. That last one was further out. I say, Gracie, the pitch before, the second to last, the pitch of the at-bat to earn that walk.
Now, there were some awfully good pitches, and now Beimel going to have to face Upton, the right-handed hitter. But, yeah, Johnson laid off a couple of really good breaking balls. They were balls. But, boy, he laid off them nicely, earned his 3rd walk of the ball game. Slight surprise here that stand with Beimel to face Upton with the bases loaded.
But he is. And Upton takes outside. When you said he's going to face him, I was thinking, well, why does he have to? But you're right, there was no one up. There was not a righty just in case. Justin, in his career against lefties, .293. On base of .388, an OPS of .947 against lefties. Pitch is low, 2-0 the count.
Laying off some, really showing some good patience. Laying off a couple of pitches. Not getting too excited. Now all the pressure's on Beimel. And Justin's got to talk himself into understanding as we get a visit from Bob Apodaca.
This, of course, a big matchup. He was 0 for 3 against this lefty prior to this at bat. This is in the first inning. Some good mojo. And then Justin also had an infield single. Again, 0 for 3 against this left-hander. The 2-0. Out front, Thompson. Stewart plays it awkwardly just in time to get Johnson. He nearly played that into a 2-run kick. Against the Diamondbacks. And there's Justin. He leaned on it. It's a 2-run shot. Home runs have been the order of business, unfortunately. Seth Smith with the bomb. And then that one hurt. Ian Stewart against his old high school teammate, Ian Kennedy. Not done, though. Chris Young, 40 RBIs with that homer. By the way, with Chris Young, as we take a look at all the numbers in this game, as we summarize this, Jonathan Herrera, part of a double switch. He goes to work with a bat in his hand. And Esperling Vasquez throws a strike. Vasquez comes on. ERA of 5.40. Of course, will be spoken about for a while until he is able to do the things that he can do with this stuff, as the man who balked home a run as part of the 4 consecutive walk-off losses for the Diamondbacks. Casey Blake was bouncing around at third base. Your buddy Larry Boa gave you some insight on that, and buckled as he came set and balked home that run. 1-2 the count.
Jockeying him down the line. Next thing you know.
Boy, what a changeup. Good night, Mr. Herrera.
That didn't take long.
Looked like a knuckleball floating in there.
It kind of did, right on the inside corner. Just froze Herrera. And Dale Scott rings it up.
Carlos Gonzalez. Big swing, and it's a foul ball. You were with Dave Tremblay somewhere along the way, weren't you?
Yeah, in the low minor leagues.
And we caught up with him a few years back, didn't we?
And I am a very big fan.
Sorry about what happened to him. I thought I'd share that with you.
He was fired by the Baltimore Orioles. Never really given much of a chance.
No. It was kind of a tough one to follow as a fan of the game and someone who I knew you respected.
Yeah. What a worker. What a
never really given the players.
That's what I'm saying. You know, unfortunately, he was given some young, a handful of talented players, but only maybe 1 or 2 talented pitchers. And if you don't have pitching at this level, you're not going to win. especially in the American League East, Darren Sutton.
Yeah, there's no doubt Millwood has pitched well, has had no support.
They got a kid named Mattis that's a good left-handed starter.
That one is outside. 2-2 the count to Gonzalez.
Juan Samuel now the interim manager there, and he brought a spark to the Baltimore Orioles tonight in his first game as manager. Boston beat the Orioles tonight 11-0. Oh, that Andy McPhail.
3-2 the count. My goodness, inside corner again. He's got an A-plus changeup, as you said, working tonight. It's usually at a pitch you catch hitters looking.
Well, it starts so far inside, it buckles these guys, these left-handed hitters, and then it comes back to the inside corner for strikes. Nicely done so far for Vasquez.
I wonder what these folks, and we'll check it if we have a foul ball. It just popped into my head. I wonder what they're thinking about our text poll tonight. Speaking of the American League and the retirement of the kid, Ken Griffey Jr. We were speaking of that earlier. As that one is away. Curious what you folks remember about the playing career. The talent, there with you, Gracie. The talent.
You know, the love of the game. There's millions of people that love baseball. You know?
Oh, absolutely.
I loved it. Still do. I know you love it.
But you wouldn't pay to watch me play center field.
Well, no.
Okay. That's what I thought. The 2-0. Changeup is in.
But I'd definitely watch Ken Griffey Jr.
That's exactly right.
I'd pay lots of hard-earned dollars to watch him play, especially in his prime. Golly.
3-0 the count. Lost him. And so Smith is a walk. 6 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for the Rockies. 4 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for the Diamondbacks. It's a 3-game set, and then next week, well, the Atlanta Braves come to town.
Boy, how well are they playing?
They're playing great tonight. They're being handled by the Dodgers in a close one, as that one is swung right through by Helton.
They've got a great starting pitching staff. Boyd Kloss is just a hitting machine right now.
He is. He really is. RBIs and homers.
Chalk me up as one of those guys that thought it was over for him. You know, a lot like Vladimir Guerrero. I was one of those guys that thought the end was there for him. Look what he's doing in Texas this year. My goodness.
And that's what I'm sure some people maybe locally are concerned about this man. And just when you think, then off they go. I would imagine the same thing will happen with Todd Helton.
Well, good things do happen to good people, and Todd falls into that category.
They like to call him the Todd Father up there.
They do. I find myself when I'm up in the Denver area, I call him the Todd Father.
That'll get you a free round at a lot of establishments. 2-2 the count.
Todd Father way out in front of that one. Helton always says, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Mm-hmm.
Gas.
My guess is that Vasquez is one of his enemies. By the way, history's Ice Road Truckers are back. Don't miss a sneak peek of the new season coming up right now. Joe Borowski and his time in Florida with the D train, so looking forward to that.
You're going to that D train a lot tonight, I noticed.
I think I am.
Yeah. I like it.
I mean, he can be more, ecologically correct if we want to call him the D light rail.
I might start calling him that. No, that doesn't sound good.
That would be just terrible.
Awful. Hey.
Pitch is high. 1-0 the count to Stephen Drew. You're talking about those Braves and Troy Gloss, by the way, before today on a 9-game hitting streak for Gloss. 4 homers, 15 RBIs his last 9 games.
He had a huge May.
You wish you could have May back, as that one is a strike.
That's well said.
Steven, and Matty Williams hops out of the way. You know what I noticed about Matt Williams?
What'd you notice?
That
there's that handsome first base coach.
He wants you to hustle on and off the field. He spoke to some of the guys in San Francisco very clearly during this losing streak. And if you're going to fire your helmet around after you make an out, especially if it's near him, he'll be heading back into the dugout.
He won't pick it up.
He's not a cleanup crew for your tantrums. I like that.
Nice. That's the way it should be. Slam, bang. He's not going to go chase a helmet that you throw and bring it back. No. You'll get it yourself.
It was interesting. Justin was really frustrated, and I don't blame him. His at bat to end the inning. The 1-2. As that one is outside. And he went to slam that helmet down. Instead, he crouched down, almost in a catcher's stance, and pounded the helmet upside down. Right here, has it with him.
Takes a look at Matty.
Crouches down, keeps it with him. And then after a moment, brought it to Matt and handed it to him. Stephen Drew juices down one into right center field. It could be 3. Rolls into the gap. Picking him up and putting him down. Heading to third. The relay from Herrera. The slide. A triple for Stephen Drew. They call it baseball's most exciting play. It certainly is fun to watch a 3-bagger.
He tends to pile them up, Stephen Drew. Combination of power and speed. He gets a fastball he can handle, drills it into the gap. And now it's just a matter of whether it's going to be a sliding triple or a stand-up triple. Gonzalez gets it in quickly. Good relay. But Stephen just way too quick around the bag. So, like Joe Borowski said, the Diamondbacks not packing in their tents. They're scratching and fighting.
So now Adam LaRoche. Breaking ball, and it's over the inside corner, and it's a strike. Steven with those 5 triples. As that one is blocked up, that ties him for the National League lead with Nigel Morgan and Shane Victorino.
2 flyers.
And might I add, Alcides Escobar of Milwaukee as well has 5. Boy, another tough night for Milwaukee, by the way. We're talking about that Fox Saturday game tomorrow.
Boy, do they stink this year.
Kind of a tough year.
Ooh, Adam got a good fastball to hit. And he fouled it straight back. Let's take a look at the pitch that he got. Oh, you love these. He took a big swing and fouled it straight back.
The 1-2. Slow breaking ball, and down he goes. It's a tough time with curveballs, doesn't it?
Well, and I think he'll tell you the reason he struck out. This is a great breaking ball. It's down. It's out of the zone. But I think Adam will tell you he should have never got to that breaking ball because the fastball prior to that was a very good pitch to hit, or at least get that run in from third with.
You always talk about that pitch. He got his pitch and just wasn't able to handle it. Call to the bullpen answered. We'll be back. If you will, of the career of Dontrelle Willis. We will see. We'll all watch it together. One-time All-Star and Rookie of the Year and World Series champion. Lost his way in the Motor City, and he will be on the mound tomorrow night. We'll see. Should be good. Has now made his home here in Arizona.
He's excited to be here.
He has closed on a home yesterday. Talk about a busy couple of days. Matt Belisle with a runner on third and one out. One of many with good numbers that trots out of that gate.
You got to find a way to get Stephen Drew to the plate, at least. Oh, man, did he get a pitch to hit there. Well, that's a couple of fastballs right down Broadway, belt high. The Diamondback hitters have fouled back. Well, you don't get those very often. You hate to let pitchers get away with those.
So Mark 0 for 3 with a strikeout in his career against Belisle. Pops it up, high fly. Hawk's got a good arm. Drew can run though. Here we go. He makes the play. He shoots it to the plate. Head first slide, not in time. 6-5 to score. It's an RBI. The second of the night. Via the sac fly for Mark Reynolds. 41 runs batted in.
Sure, it would be nice to have a home run, but it's exactly what Mark Reynolds' job was right there, is to find a way to get Stephen Drew across home plate. He does just that. Well, Stephen Drew, he can kind of sneaky fly.
We talk about it a lot. That's why I think we put higher expectations on Stephen with regard to stealing bases. And when you're leading the league in triples, you can run the bases.
I agree. Love to see him. And he's got a very good success rate. When he goes, he's safe. So 6-5 Rockies. Ourselves a good ball game here.
1-1 the count. Young, we spoke of it earlier with the home run, reached the 40 RBI mark. Just for sake of perspective, Chris had 42 RBIs all of last year.
Pretty amazing.
We're open for a lot more from the center fielder. Tempting pitch, but a nice take.
The strikeouts are down as well for Chris, aren't they?
Yes, they are. You can still get him with a strikeout, but it's not an alarming total. Hold that one. Getting an easy chance for Joy Tulowitzki. They do scratch out one more run. Arizona trails it by a single run as we roll on to the 8th.
after hitters, so I just have to do a better job of that, and I've been working on that. So, you know, between my bad irons and good irons, I've always been 1 or 2 outs away from going out there and getting a successful outing. But I've always been a guy that battles and, you know, try to keep my ball club in the ball game. So that's what I'm going to try to do here.
The Diamondbacks certainly thinking outside of the box. Brought to you by Jack in the Box, bringing Dontrell and Willis to town. Into right field, Justin Upton retires Troy Tulowitzki. And end the streak, Gracie, this young fan says. End it.
I agree, young man. Tonight.
Oh, you bet.
Now. Uncle.
Again, there's a young fan that follows the team.
Absolutely. Follows the team when we're on the road.
And might I add, by the way, 25,290 tonight.
Good for you folks. Good for you folks for coming out here on a beautiful night. It's Major League Baseball. I don't care what the results have been. This is Major League Baseball. These are the best players in the world going at it every night.
1-1 the count.
That counts for something, doesn't it?
It does. It's a beautiful ballpark. Even Dontrell talking about how much he enjoyed it as a visiting player. Great place for families to come. That's my favorite, the families of the ballpark, the youngsters. The 1-1. Change of pace, 1-2 the count.
Man, all you fellas out there. As Brad Hopp is way out in front of this changeup. All you fellas out there. You know, you might have asked a special gal out. You know, might be on your first date. Bring them to the ballpark. It's a great place to have a first date.
You bet.
Yeah, see? First date right there. It's good to have you here.
2-2 the count. Well, there are some challenges and some fun opponents coming to town, and you hope the Diamondbacks will raise their game back up where they expect it to be.
See, it's a good place for couples to have a great time.
Strike 3 with a changeup. Fools him badly.
Another changeup on the inside corner. Hopp way out in front.
We'll hope to see you. We'll hope to see you.
Pretty good teams there.
When Atlanta comes, when Bobby Cox in his final stop here at this ballpark, Albert Pujols coming to town. We hope to see you when the New York Yankees visit. And then we'll be with you on television, obviously, in Boston, in Detroit, my favorite city. And then, of course, in Tampa Bay as well. St. Petersburg, actually.
That's where that ballpark is. That one got Olivo with the breaking ball.
Slider is distant, third pitch. So many good changeups. He's got an electric fastball. Mel Stottlemyre Jr. would love for him to leave that slider maybe in Tampa.
Yeah, just leave it in spring training. Don't even throw it.
That fastball, and he's shown us, I mean, that changeup has had a really disabling effect to a lot of these hitters. You can throw 95 with a swing and miss change.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need.
We saw Miguel Olivo steal a couple of bases when we were in Colorado.
Yes, we did. That one misses outside. 1-0 the count. Just got a note from big Diamondbacks fan Carmine, who will be torn that night that the Yankees come to town. All three of them. He's a Yankees fan. He's a Diamondbacks fan. But he's a Yankees fan. What do you do? The 1-0.
Punt.
Just punt. Come get a cold one and enjoy a good night at the ballpark.
Enjoy your favorite players.
That's a good call.
Yeah, just come, have a beverage or 5, have you a hot dog or 5, or whatever it is you like to eat. Watch your 2 favorite teams duke it out.
You were able to sign us off national television last year right there from the stadium floor at Yankee Stadium as they were World Series champs.
It was awesome.
Did a nice job. Did you have fun doing it?
That was a great World Series, too. There was a lot of great players on display for the Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Yankees. Got some old teammates. One's now managing the New York Yankees, Joe Girardi. Bullpen coach Mike Harkey, former.
Oh, there's a good name. I didn't know Hay was there. 3-0 swinging, and he fouls it off. Fastball chasing up in the zone. This is not what you want on 3-0, is it?
I got no problem with that.
Okay.
That was belt high. Don't you think?
Oh, no. I thought you wanted him driving it.
Well, I think had he made contact, it might have been pulled. I don't know. Man, way out in front of that 3-1 changeup.
Smart pitch.
Absolutely. He's thinking one thing right there. He's trying to hit his second home run of the ball game. So you pull the string on him, and he's way out in front. Nicely done.
Three and two, the count. He threw him another one. Pulled the string. A career-high 5 strikeouts.
Big-time outing for Esmond.
Just what the doctor ordered. Just what the bullpen needed. That bullpen behind that gate is... Park tonight, 6-5 the score. I want to remind you to log on to FoxSportsArizona.com for all your coverage of Arizona sports, specifically the Diamondbacks, behind-the-scenes interviews, and also you can drop an email to us in the booth as well. A lot of families here tonight, a lot of moms and dads and little ones. That looks like a soccer injury there with the cast on that young gal.
You know about those, don't you?
Oh, I do. I do. We just finished up at ASU soccer camp this week. They did a great job over there on campus. It's a fine program.
Speaking of ASU, how's that ball game going?
Well, let's take a look here. They are now in the 8th inning. Milwaukee's holding their own, certainly, and ASU doing what they're supposed to be doing, beating UW-Milwaukee, the Panthers, but 6-2. Respectable score for the program from the Midwest. 6-2, the number 1 team in the land, ASU, holding on to their home court. It's a great experience for the young players out of the Horizon League. Rally cap is on.
I love it.
It's an ASU rally cap.
Got 6 outs to go. Fastball right down the middle from Matt Belisle. 1-1.
All right. Now's the time. Got to happen this inning.
You thinking rally, huh?
Yep. Started with Parra. Boy, are they deep in the outfield. Look at Gonzalez in center.
Well, for a guy that has 0 home runs this year, and Gerardo Parra, that might be a little too deep.
I think so. That's good news, though. For Parra, just muscle one out there somewhere. You got a lot of space to work with. Gerardo doubled back in the 6th inning. Getting the start against the right-handed pitcher. This may happen more often.
And got eaten up by a Belisle fastball right in on his hands. Very good pitch here from Belisle. Right under the batting gloves of Gerardo Parra. I'm going to get it. Oh, no, I didn't get it. There's our guy. Come on, Troy.
2-2 the count. Slow breaking ball, left it up. He was chirping at Troy after he made a play. Didn't take the ball away from Tulowitzki. It was a good 3 rows back. Valley Caps all along in that row. He's dialed in.
Yeah, he wants the Diamondbacks to win. Made him a nice play.
Pitch is low, 3-2 the count. Young Venezuelan sent down to the minor leagues for a while to get his swing back together. Still hitting only .237 on the year. Chases away. There's a hole in that swing, and it's right there. We have seen him, and looks to pull the ball a lot. You can beat a hitter when he tries to do that.
Well, when you swing it, pitches out of the zone, way out of the zone, such as that. That's fabulous. It's a great shot.
So here's Chris Snyder. Fouled back and dropped down there. A couple of seats down. Steve Gilbert, the fine writer for MLB.com, just literally ran from that ball, then tried to catch it and dropped it again. That was a terrible play.
I could hear him squealing all the way over here.
Unbelievable as that one is low. I mean, he can write. He is a great writer.
I thought it sounded like your beautiful daughter.
Yes.
You know, squealing,
Lily,
screaming.
Lily,
yeah. But unfortunately, we've come to hear it was Steve Gilbert squealing like that when that foul ball came back.
I hope he's all right. I want to send Dave Edwards up to check on him. That one is outside. 2-1 the count. I mean, he can write. What a great writer.
He's very talented.
Terrible defender, though.
He's got bad hands, you're right.
Snyder, look at the spin on that ball. I mean, right off the cup of the bat. But you don't complain when you get yourself a tying run and it reaches.
You sure don't. Right off the very end of the bat, as you can see, and it somehow gets away from Tulowitzki. We're going to have a pinch runner. Augie Ojeda's going to run for Chris Snyder's. The high fives down there in the first row.
Pinch hitting for Asbury Vasquez, number 34, Connor Jackson.
And Connor Jackson's going to come in and have a crack at it here. He represents the go-ahead run.
So Augie is out there. Connor hitting just .220. 0-1 the count. Should he drive one out of here, it would certainly be huge. It would also be his first home run of the season. The 0-1. Breaking ball, fights it off into right field. It's a base hit. Ojeda Makes Hall shoot it in, has a very good arm. All right, Connor Jackson. Do him a breaking ball. Sped up is bad enough for a hitter who isn't doing what he wants. Connor was just 2 for 22 on that recent road trip.
Ball hit to the right side. Augie O'Hare. I thought he was going to try to go for third there, and I think he could have easily gotten there. But he decided to play it safe. Because these outfielders are playing so deep, Darren, and we were talking about that. They're playing so deep. I just thought for sure Augie was going to try to go to third there, but played it conservatively, and Jim Tracy's going to come out and remove Matt Belisle, and we have a pitching change. Mr. Flores, introduce yourself.
Left-hander comes on out of the bullpen.
And pick up a Dan Herron 09 All-Star bobblehead on Saturday, June 12th. The first 15,000 fans to the game will get one. Call 602-462-4794 or register to win the entire 2010 bobblehead collection at dbacks.com/bobbleworld. Bobble World. I think you've got one there, don't you, D?
I do. It's the Dan Herron model bobblehead.
Do you?
It's a good one.
It's nice.
Get a good look at it there.
I just threw 9 shutout innings.
And I'm holding my teammates pretty accountable right now, by the way, and myself. So he was, again, pretty vocal before the game today about uncle on the team meetings. Let's just start winning some games. I'm simplifying it by quite a bit, respectfully so. Randy Flores goes to work, the left-hander out of USC. There were some more interesting quotes today. Let's hope maybe some positive ones at the end of this game as the pitch is outside to Kelly Johnson. Kelly 0 for his last 10 against left-handed pitching.
Well, he had a heck of an at-bat against the last left-hander he faced. Joe Beimel drew a walk.
That's exactly right. That was the first walk as well in 11 plate appearances.
That loaded the bases for Justin Upton. Upton was retired, but boy, it was a great at-bat by Kelly Johnson. How do you lay off that one?
Well, and that's what constitutes, and what Gracie's talking about, folks, a great at-bat. I mean, it's not crushing every ball all over the ballpark. It's taking the ones you can do nothing with.
I always tell you, and I've said it many times, my definition of a good at-bat is when you swing at the strikes and take the balls, regardless of the result. If you can take the balls and swing at the strikes, your chances of success grow drastically.
Kelly fouls that one off. By the way, congratulations to Arizona State. They beat UW-Milwaukee 6-2 in the opening round game. That was the pitch, though. That was the pitch.
That was the pitch. That's a couple 3 times now we've seen Diamondback hitters in big situations do a good job of getting a good pitch to hit, taking a good pass at it, and fouling it back, unfortunately.
The 2-1. That pitch is low, but then he takes another tough pitch.
That was a changeup, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Three and 1 the count.
Pitcher's pitch right there. Nothing you can do with that one. All you're going to do is beat that one into the ground for a possible double play. Go ahead and tip your cap and hope he makes a mistake with this pitch. Okay, here we go. For the 4th time, peeks in to get the sign. And here we go.
3-2. Again. He takes a pitch.
Amazing.
Swept all over the plate. Now, he will tell you, as Gracie said, I had a pitch I could drive, I didn't. But he fights himself through it, earns another hard-fought walk.
It's just great stuff. Good job, Kelly Johnson. Good job. His 3rd walk of the game. Yeah! I like this guy. That's my kind of fan right there.
Well, he's already got himself a contract from this great play.
He's got
Sure
a
they
foul
brought
ball.
it down there already.
He's got a foul ball. He's got a contract. He's into this thing, man. He wants his D-backs to win this ball game. Yeah! And Jim Tracy is going to make his 12th pitching change of the night.
Is down by a run, but there are 3 Diamondbacks after an incredible and a memorable at bat again tonight by Kelly Johnson. Rafael Betancourt goes to work. Betancourt will now bat in the 5 spot as part of a double switch. Ryan Spilborghs is in right field. He will lead off the next inning batting in the 8 hole. So Spilborghs, then Herrera, then Gonzalez.
That's a high ERA there for Betancourt. Justin Upton. 2nd at bat in a row now he's going to have with the bases full of D-backs.
And this bullpen had gone 20-plus innings without giving up a run, this Colorado bullpen. I mean, they had been fabulous. 20 and a third coming in without giving up a single run. 6-5 the score, just one out. Fastball away, 1-0 the count. You can see the career matchups. He's gotten him twice. 11 runners he has inherited. 6 of those have scored.
Just take a deep breath if you're Justin Upton. Relax. Don't try to hit a home run here. You're strong enough to hit home runs when you don't try. Just put a good swing on it and good things will happen. Oh, he took one right down Broadway. I mean, woo! Golly.
So 6 for their last 51 with runners in scoring position, these Diamondbacks. And the 1-1. Low, it is called. Boy, pretty good pitch.
Dale Scott wasn't in the giving mood that time. We're going to do it for our guy tonight.
And all the people he represents.
Yeah, him and his gang down there cheering way too hard to go home without a victory.
Passionate fans that have stayed loyal. 2-1 the count. Bases loaded. Two and two.
Yeah, just way too big a swing right there for Justin Upton. I mean, this pitch is right down the middle. Again. He just overswung and swung right through it.
Two and two the count. Betancourt comes set in a very unique manner, doesn't he? Step off. See how he stepped off there, though, by the way? That's what should have happened the other night.
He didn't start.
Just a step off. 2 and 2 the count. Pitched his entire career up until last year with Cleveland. Signed with the Red Sox out of Venezuela. The 2-2. Popped it up and into the seats for a souvenir.
Quality pitch there from Betancourt. Really a good job by Justin Upton just to hang around and foul that one off. That's a pitcher's pitch right there, right on the corner. Justin doing a good job just shortening it up and spoiling that one.
Another 2-2. Fastball, nowhere to put him. Almeida pinch running. Jackson hit a breaking ball to right. Kelly Johnson with a walk again against a tough lefty.
Fans getting loud. Justin got tired of waiting on Betancourt, who, by the way, pitches at the pace of a glacier.
Three-two. Got it.
Got him to chase it up out of the strike zone. Another big swing. And it's right past Justin.
So now
I would imagine something's going to take a pretty good beating back there.
Steven with a chance with 2 outs. Away, 1-0 the count. Fly to center, struck out a couple of times and tripled and scored. Bases full as the 1-0 pitch comes home. 1-1 the count. Drew is 3 for 3, as you can see, against Bencourt with the double and a triple. Faced him on the last stop in Denver, and he singled against him. Diamondbacks hit nearly 400 this year with the bases loaded, 4th best in Major League Baseball, 382. The 1-1. Did he? No, he did not. Looked like it with the naked eye, certainly. 2-1 the count.
He certainly held it up. Numbers not real good for Steven in his career, though, with the bases full of Diamondbacks.
He's never hit a grand slam home run. He's got 4 long balls this year. The 2-1.
Gas right by him. Oh, there's another fastball right in the middle of the plate.
Arizona with a single run in the 6th, a single run in the 7th to pull within a 6-5 deficit.
Had the bases loaded here with only 1 out, though. Yet to tie the ball game up or take the lead.
The 2-2. Got it.
Chase high fastballs, and boy, what looks so promising with the bases loaded and a couple of guys that you would think would be the ones you want up at the plate. Just didn't happen that time.
Leading off for Colorado, right fielder number 19, Ryan Spilborghs.
So now, as Qualls goes to work, he does so against Spilborghs, who came on as part of a double switch in that 8th slot. Herrera waits on deck. 6-5 the score. Pitches up and in. 1-0 the count. 6 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for the Rockies. 5 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error for the Diamondbacks. Pitches outside. Well, certainly a nice job by Esmerling Vasquez. John Hester is in there, giving his club a chance to chip away a bullpen that has been much criticized, much maligned this year, and that came to work today with a collective ERA of 7.51. Vasquez with 5 strikeouts, 2 hitless innings. Well, what a sinker. 2-1 the count.
Wow. Just tied him right up with that sinker.
2-2. Some of the better bullpens in the National League reside in the West. The best bullpen in baseball is in San Diego. They have a 2.77 as a group. How about Detroit? Got him with a slider up in the zone, but nonetheless, Spilborghs is done.
Yeah, just hangs it up there, but it just gets right past Spilborghs. Well, the Diamondbacks are racking up some strikeouts tonight.
Strikeouts
14.
at 14. You're exactly right. But the Padres, the best in baseball. The number 2 bullpen in baseball is in Detroit. Tigers 2.8. Classy young man Armando Galarraga didn't need them the other night.
Exactly right. St.
Louis at 2.93, and these Rockies, one of 4 teams in baseball under 3 with their bullpen. 2.99. Kelly kind of in between, ends up making the play. Did a nice job. Decided to surround that ball instead of playing on a backhand. He turned it into an out.
Carlos Gonzalez.
He knows he's got to hurry because Herrera can fly. So 2 quick outs for Chad Qualls. Carlos Gonzalez going to step up, who led off the ball game with a long ball. But since then has been retired 3 times.
These Rockies come in at 28 and 25. They have outscored their opponents on the year by 40 runs. So should even be a little bit better than that record. Bouncing ball, and it's a foul ball. They find themselves, as they get a little healthier, Houston Street working tonight on a rehab start down in Colorado Springs. Jorge De La Rosa throwing more and more. Find themselves at 3.5 back and at 3 over. Pitch is low, and the count is 2-1. San Diego lost to Philadelphia tonight 3-2. San Francisco won at Pittsburgh. And LA leads Atlanta 5-4 in the top of the 9th inning. Hot shot. Good for Kelly. It was a Sunday hop.
On this fine Saturday.
That's exactly right. Or Friday as LaRoche, Reynolds, and Young get to go to work. Opportunities like in this 8th inning.
We have the base hits from Jackson and Snyder. And a walk on another great at-bat by Kelly Johnson. And these are your guys. This is your core crew of guys. Justin Upton strikes out. Stephen Drew strikes out. Both chased high fastballs out of the zone. And we still sit on a 6-5 ball game. Boy, you hate to give those up, don't you?
Yeah, that is the situation. Justin knows it, and Stephen knows it. Manny Corpus goes to work. He has reeled off 10 consecutive scoreless frames. As a matter of fact, 9 2/3 without a walk and only 5 hits. 156 opponents hitting against him. He is on a roll as that fastball sinker is low.
He's got a good sinking fastball. It's almost unnatural how much it sinks.
Adam got him up in the zone once. He is 2 for 3 with a home run against him.
He's also got a kind of a slurvy type breaking ball as well to go with it.
High fly ball, deep left field. Looks like room right for Smith. On the track, he puts that one away. 1 out.
Got a fastball up in the zone. Drives it the other way, but you can tell he knew he didn't get it. And right about the front of the track, Seth Smith makes the play. 1 out.
So here's Mark Reynolds. A couple of RBIs on a couple of sac flies. Pops it foul up into the upper deck where it's a souvenir.
That slider just spins right in the middle of the zone. Seen a lot of that tonight. It got him. I think it got him.
Here comes Dave Edwards on the scene.
That's twice he's gotten hit tonight.
Dave and skipper A.J. Hinch are out. Let's see this again.
Yeah, right in the hand. The bottom hand. Watch the bottom hand. Ow. Anytime you get hit in the hand, you worry so much about all those small bones in your hand that can break.
Andre Ethier.
Yeah, Andre Ethier. Wow, Mark Rose coming out of the game. That's not a good sign.
Not a good sign
I
at
mean,
all.
he didn't even get his glove off when he's coming out of the game.
For Mark Reynolds, number 36, Edwin Jackson.
All those small bones in your hands and fingers, those are called metacarpals.
Now batting center fielder.
Doesn't take much to do some damage to those. They'll go in, I'm sure. Get him x-rayed. And hopefully we'll get good news.
Edwin pinch runs. Signed as a minor league outfielder out of high school in Georgia, so he goes to work. Just got to get this one run across. We like to call it the taco run, the 6th run.
I wouldn't mind being on the other side of a walk-off.
How about that against Corpus? He's homered against him, 364. Arizona, 16-0 when they score 6 or more runs. 16-0. 1-1 the count.
Well, if Chris Young and or somebody else were to walk off the Colorado Rockies, it would be the first time it happened in 2010.
Goodness gracious.
That's big league research right there, Darren.
And yet the Diamondbacks have been walked off 8 times. Bouncing ball eats him up. Everybody's going to be safe. Edwin moves up 90 feet. He hit it hard.
things get a little bit more interesting now because you have the winning runs on.
But really a nice play by Ian Stewart to keep this ball from getting down the line.
Now batting left fielder,
The one thing with the sinker ball specialist you want to be careful of, and we talk about this a lot for this young man, is the ground ball.
True. Very true.
Line drive, base hit left field. Look at Bo Porter. Come on down and it's bobbled. Here comes Edwin. He will score. We're tied. Wow. That's a pitcher he sit on down like that.
That's an athlete.
He never left any doubt, though. Bo immediately picked him up and said, I need you scoring. And Smith kicked the ball with the pressure.
You put the pressure on the opposing defense. Nice piece of hitting right there by Parra. Come on, Edwin. You got to go, son, and you scored easily. That's an athlete he's sent around, not necessarily a pitcher. He ain't a pitcher tonight.
Not there.
He ain't a pitcher tonight. He's a base runner. He's flying. Oh, that's big league right there. Yeah, boy, Gerardo. Feel good about yourself.
Well, wasn't that pretty, Gracie? Instead of trying to pull the ball, he did. Remember, he was beaten with the pitch like that earlier, up and away.
That's exactly right. He didn't try to pull the ball. If you do, it's going to be a double play in the ball game. He just goes with the pitch and pokes it out there. Yeah, our folks are happy out there now. And it is officially taco night.
Edwin Jackson all smiles. Here's Ryan Roberts. Well, this guy stepped in, barely made the club a season ago, but ended up playing a majority of the time as a starting second baseman in the second half. He can end the ball game here as the Diamondbacks can finally walk somebody else off. Time was called.
Corpus staring down Ryan Roberts.
And for Parra, that broke an 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. He was the most dependable in that category last year. Ryan takes a sinking fastball low. And he's not too pleased with much of anything right now. Stares in at the home plate umpire Dale Scott.
One thing he's not happy about probably is a blown save. He's going to get one of those, whether he gets out of this inning or not.
Hard ground ball into center field. They're going to send him on around. And finally, the Diamondbacks walk someone else off. Celebrate, their manager and their fans look to the heavens and say, thank you up above. The losing streak is finally over. Down to Mark McCool with Ryan Roberts. Go ahead, guys.
All right, Ryan, what's going through your mind right now?
We got to win. That's the biggest thing. We got to win. Nothing else matters.
You were sent down to Reno to start the season to work on hitting with runners in scoring position. How much did that come into play with that at bat?
Everything. Everything leads up to tonight. And, my breath. We just worried about a win, man. All we can do is concentrate on tonight. And we go out tomorrow, try to get another one.
There's so much pressure on this team right now with the losses mounting and just the frustration mounting. How did you stay relaxed in the box?
No, you just try not to do too much. All I could think about was just try to win. And, nothing else matters. That's it.
Biggest hit of your career?
Yeah, one of them right now it is.
Well, we'll let you go enjoy with your teammates. Congratulations. Ryan Roberts going to kick things back to the booth.
All right, we'll hear from you again, Big Mac. Celebration finally. Gracie, what'd you see?
I saw a kid that didn't do too much, like he said. Clay Pepper, shoot it right back up the box, and let the Diamondbacks be happy and jump around after a game once in a while. Darren Sutton saw way too much of this on the other end against the Diamondbacks. It's good to see the enthusiasm, and good for AJ and all his staff. Mel Stottlemyre, Jack Howell, Kirk Gibson, Matt Williams, Bo Porter, everybody. Be happy, jump around and play the kids' game.
You're exactly right. Laugh a little bit. Folks have been laughing at you for a week and a half. You enjoy this, gentlemen. Let's get on out to the post-game show. I know Joe has a lot to say about it with Brad as well. We'll join him post-game show. And we look forward to talking with you right now.